Welcome back to Millers Creek here tonight. A great job on the national anthem by the West Wilkes High School Marching Band as we are just over 16 minutes away from kickoff tonight between the West Wilkes Blackhawks and the Wilkes Central Eagles. And Keith, I'll tell you what, the two key players I'm keeping my eye on tonight, first off, for the home team, the West Wilkes Blackhawks, it's got to be the junior quarterback, Travis Walsh. How do you step into this game here tonight? You know you're carrying on the family legacy name, the Walsh name up here that has went down for generations of playing quarterback up here at West Wilkes High School. As a junior, he steps into things here tonight. It's a lot of pressure on this young man. You know, in essence, he's been a starter on defense, has not had to play offense. He's played special teams. He lived behind Logan Wayne. Things were good for him. But then last Thursday night in North Surrey, things happen. The game of football happens. Life happens. Logan Wayne done for his career, breaking his collarbone, and that hurts with that young man being a senior. But now for Travis Walsh, the call came a little bit earlier than expected, but it's up to his teammates to rally around him and keep this young man's confidence up and say, listen, we need you to be a game manager. We don't need you to be the game changer. Just be the game manager. Let us help you put together something that has not been done in a long time up here. In fact, 15 years, and that's try to put a W on the board against Wilkes Central in a varsity football game. He's the key player to watch, I think, for the Blackhawks tonight.
Well, you know, they always have the next man up. And, you know, to me, I know he's going to be a key piece, but I think the key piece is going to be the offensive line.
I agree.
The offensive line is going to make or break Walsh.
Yeah.
Because if they don't give him the time to do what he needs to do, I don't care if he's Joe Namath.
Yeah.
Okay. To me, that's the key I see for West Wilkes. Can they give him the time to do what he needs to do to be successful?
I agree with you 100%. Then you look for Wilkes Central, Keith. I'll be honest with you. The guy I'm looking at tonight is Terry Hayes. We saw him make a big difference in this matchup in the spring. He was all over the field, whether it was vertically, slants, curls, screens, it didn't matter up here in February. Terry Hayes was a one-man wrecking crew in the spring up here. We didn't see a lot of him on Monday night. It was more Malachi Rucker that took center stage more so than Terry Hayes. But I got a feeling in my stomach tonight Wilkes Central's pulling out every piece of artillery possible, hence what normally happens when these two teams get together.
Well, you know, the biggest thing is Wilkes Central sits 0-3.
In the conference.
In the conference, okay? And they're looking whatever they can do. They've got, I mean, this is a situation that Wilkes Central don't find themselves in very often.
Exactly.
You know, we picked them to be probably about the third or fourth best team in the conference, and things just haven't transpired for Wilkes Central in them aspects. And so, you know, I feel like the big thing is, are they going to give McGill the time to throw to? You know, we saw him the other night.
He had to make a lot of plays with his feet against North Wilkes because the pocket collapsed, and we saw North Wilkes get absolutely no pass rush against West Wilkes a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, that was amazing. And, you know, the other thing is you know, penalties.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw a great play by Terry Hayes in the end zone to tie that game up, but it was a holding penalty that took away that score.
And then the Malachi Rucker 76-yard touchdown on the kickoff was called back a little bit earlier, and there was 2 scores wiped off the board due to crucial penalties that turned out to be the difference in the football game.
Yeah, pretty much. And so, you know, turnovers, penalties, can they clean this thing up? You know, we're 2/3 of the way through the season, and, you know, at this point in time, I think that these penalties really don't need to keep showing up.
I agree with you 100%. You go to our picks tonight here on our Randy Marion of Wilkesboro scoreboard. We'll start with Forbush East Surrey, what you and I picked to be the Foothills 2A Conference Championship matchup this year. That's looking more like it's going to be a couple weeks from now when Surrey Central and East Surrey both play, because they're both undefeated in the conference after Surrey Central knocked off Forbush last week. Keith, if we'd have been talking about 8 weeks ago, I'd have gave Forbush maybe the advantage, but now where we sit, my advantage is with the Birds from Pilot Mountain.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I would have thought at this time that Forbush with their ground game would have really caused problems for East Surrey, but I tell you what, Boaz, what an arm that young man has. I mean,
special.
He's a great quarterback and throws with great authority, and you know,
He's got a line that gives him time all day, man. He just sits back there like he's on vacation. So we both like East Surrey in that matchup. Starmount taking on South Stokes. This is a sneaky matchup in the Northwest 1A Conference. Coach Dave Diamond always has his boys ready to play, and they're riding the back of a really good running back over there at South Stokes this year. Starmount coming off that big win over Elkin Monday night in the Battle of the Bridge. I'm going to go with the Rams tonight. I think they get the job done against the Sawyers.
Yeah, I think so. Starmount's kind of peaking at the right time. And, they're in line as it stands right now. They're in line probably for the second best team in the 1A
absolutely.
Conference.
And then you turn up and you look at Elkin tonight, who lost, losing their quarterback in Jackson Sturdivant in that game on Monday night was a big blow to the Bunking Elks because he is really the heart and soul guy of that team this year. Elkin at 3-3 playing a 1-5 Allegheny bunch. I think even with a backup quarterback, I think Elkin gets the job done. I look at guys like Joe Snow and Ryan Nance and some of those other guys they got. I think Elkin's still got enough to take care of business. Yeah,
I'm looking for the Bucking Elks, and especially, Allegheny coming off of that big loss to East Wilkes Monday night.
And then you turn up, you look at North Wilkes taking on Surrey Central. North Wilkes coming off that big emotional win over Wilkes Central back on Monday night for the first time since 2013. North Wilkes now at 2-4. Coach Wotecki got that win that was outside of Allegheny on his resume, and it came against a school that a lot of other coaches in this county have not had success with, and that's Wilkes Central. So he got the job done on Monday night. But I think Surrey Central's a different animal. I think Coach Monty Southern has those boys playing the best football really I've seen since you and I have been doing games together over the past 6 years. That is a very talented Surrey Central bunch over in Dobson this year. I think Surrey Central takes care of business against North Wilkes.
Well, early in the year we saw Surrey Central really having a hard time with a speed run.
Yeah.
And, I know DeAndre Corpening is going to really pose some problems, I believe, to them. But the Golden Eagles are playing, they're probably their best football. I never would have thought that after we saw them play East Wilkes.
Hey, give credit where credit's due to Coach Monty Southern and that coaching staff. And then, of course, Wilkes Central and West Wilkes, where we sat here tonight. It is the rivalry matchup of Wilkes County. It's been 15 years. You got to go back to late August 2006 to find the last time West Wilkes claimed victory over Wilkes Central in a varsity football game. It's been a long time. The freshmen that are up here at West Wilkes this year, a lot of them were not even born yet the last time. That's how far we've gotten into this thing. Only 8 times in school history has West Wilkes ever been able to defeat Wilkes Central in a varsity football game. And you look back over the span, West Wilkes has been playing football since the mid to late 50s when they were incorporated as a high school here in Wilkes County. Not only that, after the West Wilkes JV team last night claimed a 42-22 victory over Wilkes Central, another piece of history can be made here tonight. If West Wilkes finds a way to put the 15-year streak to bed here tonight, it will be the first time in school history that both the JV team and the varsity team have swept the weekend. Never, ever has the JV and varsity team both won on the same weekend against Wilkes Central in school history. So a lot of history is up for grabs here tonight. And I know this is an injury-stricken Wilkes Central football team. They don't have Kamen Smith. They don't have Isaiah Buchanan. The injuries are there with impacting key players. But I still think this Wilkes Central team has too much speed on the perimeter. You look at a Malachi Rucker. You look at a Terry Hayes. You look at a C.J. McGill. You got a A.J. Villapando. I still think too much speed on the perimeter, and I think that is where the difference is going to be made because West Wilkes doesn't have Holt Hanchy. They don't have Jared Minton. They've got a banged-up Jaheim McDougal. You got your starting quarterback in Logan Wayne, who's leading the senior captains out on the field tonight. You don't have Logan Wayne. I know Central's injuries are big, but when you start looking at the grand scheme of things, I think the injuries for West Wilkes are bigger because it comes to some of their major athletes.
Yeah, I mean, I know that kills you to say that, but the speed, the outside speed, West has always had a hard problem with speed.
Yeah.
Their athletes are built for like 3 yards in a cloud of dust up here. And
corn-fed country boys, as the old saying goes.
The biggest thing tonight is having a new quarterback going up against your biggest rivalry. That's really putting a lot of pressure on that young man.
Absolutely.
And, can they generate a pass rush? Because if you give McGill time to throw the ball, he'll absolutely pick you apart. We saw that earlier this year.
Yes, we have. It's one of those things we have seen this year, and West Wilkes is just going to have to stay together. They're going to have to keep their confidence. If they get down, they're going to have to keep their heads up, not fall to that old trap of, well, we're done, there's nothing we can do. You've got to find a way to instill some confidence in this group. And if you want my opinion, if nothing else, play for number 8. Because I know for a fact, I know Logan Wayne, he would give his other collarbone to be out there on that football field tonight to be able to play his final home game against this group out here. I can promise you that. And if nothing else, rally upon your injured teammates, especially your senior leader who, let's just call it what it is, the heart and soul of this football team ran through that young man. You don't have him. You don't have Holt Hanchy. You got to find something to ignite a fire. Whatever it was, the fire they found against North Wilkes up here 2 weeks ago, they're going to have to find some semblance of that again and try to reincorporate it, or else we're going to be walking off this field at halftime like it was in the spring, I'm afraid, 45-0, if they let things get away from them.
Well, like I said, the biggest thing is between your ears.
That's it.
I mean, don't look at the WC on the helmet.
Don't think about the past 15 years.
Just look at them as another opponent, because, like I said, this could very well steamroll if they get to the point where they say, well, here we go again.
Yep,
we're
same old, same old.
Everybody in the stands knows we don't have a Chinaman's chance. That's the biggest thing. You got to just, as a coaching staff, you're going to be do more, I hate to say this, babysitting tonight than you are coaching football.
To a degree, you're exactly right. You got to keep heads clear. You got to keep full hearts. You got to keep everything rolling here tonight, and you got to keep your pedal to the floor here if you want to come out and put something to bed that has been brewing for nearly 2 solid decades. I mean, that's the thing about it, Keith. Overcoming a hump is just as much mental as it is physical. You know that. It's one thing to go out here and actually do it, but it's another thing to keep your head in the game long enough to be able to do it. You've got to keep yourself grounded. You've got to keep yourself focused, and that's the biggest hurdle, I think, is mental for West Wilkes here tonight. So we both picked Wilkes Central. We both picked Surrey Central. We both picked Elkin, Star Mountain, East Surrey. So we're the same across the board here tonight. And you look at these two teams as they have taken the field now on each respective sidelines. Wilkes Central in their all whites tonight. The white helmet, white jerseys, and white pants. The jerseys trimmed with the gold and green stripes on the shoulder pads of the jerseys with the green numbers and says Eagles across the chest. Then for West Wilkes, they've got their orange helmets with the black wings mixed in with the black jerseys with orange numbers, black pants with orange stripes down the side, and we are ready to play some football here tonight. And Wilkes Central taking the ball first. Keith, call me crazy, but we know one of the old vices for West Wilkes for years upon years, especially over the last 15 years of this matchup, how do they handle the deep ball, the pass? Wilkes Central's got the speed to be able to blow by you, even if you're giving them 10, 15 yards of soft coverage. Do not be surprised if C.J. McGill doesn't line up with Rucker and Hayes on the outside first play of the game and they send them on go routes or a go and a post and look for something deep. How much you want to bet?
Well, that would be my...
You got to remember, the offensive coordinator at Wilkes Central knows a lot about this program up here because he spent many years up here as the head coach.
Well, the biggest thing is you want, like I said, we talked about mental aspect. If you score right off the bat already...
That may be a dagger early. Here we go. Chris West going to boot the football away. It's an onside kickoff attempt, and the Blackhawks have got the football right from the get-go. A little trickery from special teams coordinator Robert Johnson, and the Blackhawks with a big play off the gate. Keith, that's one way to spark a little confidence early in a football game.
The best thing about that kick was it bounced over the first wave, and so really the second wave was 10 yards beyond that. So that was you couldn't kick that thing any better.
Great job by Chris West on the onside kick attempt, and the Blackhawks will start with possession now. First down and 10 at the Wilkes Central 40-yard line. Great job with a trick play right out of the gate. Travis Walsh is going to go under center. Wing T offense for the Blackhawks. You got Billings and also Braden Woody as the backs. Going to be a handoff to Braden Woody. It's a reverse to Luke Tharp. Tharp's got the 35-yard line before being drove out of bounds late, and that's going to be 15 more yards against number 21, Mason Martin. So that's going to move this up to about the 20-yard line. And already one play into the football game, Keith, West Wilkes is going to have it first down inside the GNB Energy red zone.
Yeah, you got to wonder what Martin was even thinking. I mean, he was 5 yards out of bounds, and Martin tried to tackle him. So, I mean, you know, like we said, penalties and turnovers are going to be a very big factor in this game.
Absolutely right. And so, after that on Mason Martin, it is going to be 1st and 10 Blackhawks at the Eagle 20-yard line. Walsh goes under center with Billings and Woody, the two backs. Tharp, the lone receiver, out wide left. Woody goes in motion. It's a rocket pitch outside. Woody's got running room to the 15 down near the 10-yard line, and he's going to be a couple of yards short of a first down. Braden Woody on a rocket toss to the left side, to the wide side of the field, and that's a good way. We saw Braden Woody, Keith, when Holt Henchy went out 2 weeks ago against North Wilkes. We really saw Braden Woody step up and carry the load.
Yeah, for the North Wilkes game. Now, he's not quite the power runner. He's more of a finesse runner compared to Henchy, but a great job so far by that offensive line opening up holes.
2nd down and 3, ball on the Eagle 13-yard line. It's a handoff. Jaheim McDougal, and McDougal's going to be cut down for little to no gain.
A great open field tackle that time by Ethan Mark Allen.
So that's going to be 3rd down and call it about 2. Again, we don't have individual yard line markers. We're playing between each 5-yard strike. Got about 3rd and 2 from the Eagle 12. Keith, this is 4 down. It's 6 points or nothing if you're West Wilkes.
Yeah, I mean, you can't.
You're 1 and 4. You have nothing to lose.
Well, besides that, I don't know if they got a kicker that can kick
Well,
that.
That's it. Walsh under center. Ball on the near hash. McDougal goes in motion. It's a handoff. Mason Billings. He rumbles his way down near the 10-yard line. That should be enough for an Elk Outdoors of Elkin first down, and it is. It's going to set up 1st and goal Blackhawks at the Eagle 10-yard line. Keith, I can't think of a better thing to do than come out with an onside kick when you're a 1 and 4 football team against a team you hadn't beaten 15 years.
Yeah, you don't have anything to lose at that point in time, but, you know, this could be a great momentum builder for this Blackhawk team if they can put it in the end zone.
1st and goal Blackhawks, ball at the Eagle 10-yard line. Wilkes Central having a substitution issue here. Trying to get some guys subbed onto the field. A little bit of confusion. That's number 11, Noah McNeil checks in. As Walsh is going to go under center in the wing tee. You got Billings and Woody as the two backs behind him. Luke Tharp, the lone receiver, wide left. Jaheim McDougal on the left wing. Snap comes. Handoff. Braden Woody. Woody sees a crease. Woody to the 5. Woody down near the end zone. And Woody is going to fumble. He fumbles the football. There's a flag down. And Braden Woody, we saw him do this against North Wilkes.
But Wilkes Central, let's see if they've recovered the fumble. So,
oh, what a killer for the Blackhawks. Hold on, they're calling some things. Did somebody? If West needs to hope somebody false started here and they get this play was blown dead, that's actually a plus if you're West.
A hold against West.
And a penalty decline, and it's Eagle football. And there you were, a yard from scoring, and you turn the football over. And if you're West Wilkes, Keith, if they're not careful, that can start a downhill slope.
Well, you got to, Woody did a great job, but when he got hit. It's a lot of times when you get hit, you got people grabbing at the ball and everything. He's just trying to make that extra yard.
So here comes McGill, two receivers to both sides. Villapando, the tailback, lined up to his left, ball in between the hash marks. 1st down and 10, Wilkes Central at their own 20-yard line, 9:57 to go, opening quarter. No score here in Millers Creek. And now they're going to swap McGill from left to right. And it's going to be a handoff to Villapando, and Villapando's going to be hit down around the 25-yard line. And it's going to be 2nd down and 5 for the Eagles at their own 25-yard line. So we close in on 9.5 minutes here, first quarter. Two receivers to both sides. Villapando is the tailback. You got Terry Hayes lined up out here with Zach Absher on the short side of the field. Snap comes. McGill going on a screen, and that is going to be read well. Great job by Braden Woody and company, as that was Julian Martin on the screen, and he didn't really gain anything, and that's going to be 3rd down and 5. Keith, if you're West Wilkes, you've got to get this Wilkes Central offense off the field because that pretty much flushes the fumble.
Yeah, pretty much so. But, you know, this is where you got to really be cautious of Rucker and Hayes out here.
3rd down and 5, Eagles from their own 25-yard line. 2 receivers wide right. Here comes Terry Hayes motion from right to left. Terry Hayes trying to get the outside edge, and that's going to come back. It's a block in the back. Terry Hayes is going down the sideline. Terry Hayes is not going to be caught, but it's not going to stand. It's coming back. It's going to be a block in the back.
And, you know, that's what we alluded to earlier was great plays by this Wilkes Central offense, but penalties have just absolutely just killed them.
And it's coming back.
Everybody's walking back up.
And, you know, we talked about West Wilkes really has a problem with speed. Yeah. On that jet sweep right there.
Well, we know what Terry Hayes brings to the table. Keith, this is a young man who was the state champion in track and field.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a hold. Man. So let's see, they're going to move this football back. They were at the 25. See where they move this football back to. They're back to the 20. They're going to move it back to about the 16-yard line. So that's going to bring up a 3rd down and 14.
Back to the central 16-yard line.
3rd down and 14 now. If you're West Wilkes, Keith, you cannot give up a 3rd down and 14.
Well, you got to look at Rucker right here. I mean, he's probably going to be their primary target on this one.
2 receivers to both sides. Ball in between the hash marks. Villapando, the tailback, lined up to the left of McGill. McGill takes the snap. He's looking to pass. He steps up. He's going deep. And it's going to be pass interference against the Blackhawks. That's going to be called on number 7, Jet McNeil. And that's going to gift, let's say it's going to be a 15-yard penalty, so that'll bring up 3rd down and 1. Well, you were going to have a clean break there and force them to punt, and now you just basically gift them a 1st down.
You know, penalties is just so far.
Man.
I mean, we're only 4 minutes into this period.
And penalties have only loomed.
They're looming big.
And that's going to be enough for a 1st down. So now it's 1st and 10, Wilkes Central at their own 30-yard line. 2 receivers wide left, solo receiver short right. Wilkes Central driving right to left across your radio dial. Rutgers, the lone receiver, short side. Snap comes to McGill. It's a handoff to Villapando. Villapando's looking for a running lane, and he's going to be brought down, but I believe it's coming back with a hold.
Another flag down on the play. Good yardage there on the run.
Got a hold.
Got a hold against Wilkes Central. So that'll bring that back. So we're just shifting. We're shifting penalties. We're going forward and we're going backwards on this drive.
Yeah, so far as Wilkes Central has taken 1 step forward, 2 steps back. And, you know, I mean, you'd almost believe at this point in the game that this is the first game of the season.
Man, but it's been a common theme this year, Keith. So now it's going to be 1st down and 20. Wilkes Central at their own 20-yard line in the pistol formation. Snap comes, handoff Villapando. Villapando's got running room, and Villapando's down near the 30-yard line. He's going to be to about the 28, 29-yard line as he's going to pick up about a gain of 8 or 9 to make it 2nd down.
Brought down by McDougal.
Almost makes up the penalty there. That'll give us 2nd and 11.
Keith, I tell you what, to be 1 yard close to scoring, I hate to go back and labor on something, but when you're that close and you're West Wilkes, you've got to take every chance you're given in this matchup.
Well, you know, you can't fault the young man for trying to get that touchdown, but sometimes you try too much out there, and and that was the case that time.
Second down and 11 for the Eagles. Ball at their own 29-yard line. Two receivers wide right, if I could talk plain. Villapando with the handoff. He's going wide side. Villapando's got the sideline. Villapando to the 50, and Villapando's across the 50 down to the 40, call it about the 44-yard line of West Wilkes, and that's good enough for another Elk Outdoors of Elkin first down.
And no flag on the play either.
And that's the thing about it. This is what's always been the vice in this matchup for West Wilkes the past 15 years. They can't handle the speed that Wilkes Central brings to the table. That's why West Wilkes, it takes just about a perfect effort of football, and you got to be mistake-free. Snap comes to McGill on first down and 10. It's a handoff to Bonham, and Bonham is not going to get much of anything, maybe a yard.
That's a pretty good job there by number 52 for West Wilkes.
That's Gary Call. So going to be second down and 9. Second and 9 from about the 43-yard line. 6:21 and ticking, first quarter clock, no score. Wilkes Central with the football in West Wilkes territory. Two receivers to both sides. One of those is the H-back. Snap comes. It's a handoff. It's Bonham again, and Bonham's met at the line of scrimmage, and Bonham has nowhere to go again, and that's going to bring up third down.
That's a good tackle by Russell Patrick.
And that's what you got to do, Keith, as a linebacker. You got to meet that running back in the hole head on.
Yeah, that's a great job by Patrick. I mean, just stopped him right cold.
Third down and 9, ball at the West Wilkes 43-yard line. Two receivers wide right, solo receiver short left. Snap comes. It's a handoff. Villapando, he's trying to get that outside edge, and Villapando is not going to have the first down. But you got to believe Wilkes Central's going to go for it, Keith.
Yeah, you got to believe that.
They're going to show no mercy, I can promise you that.
Well, it's kind of surprising that they didn't throw the ball that time, but
I think they're trusting Villapando to get to the outside. They know where the advantage lies. So Wilkes Central going to go for it here on fourth down and 5 from the West Wilkes 40-yard line. The Blackhawks defense needs a stop right here. Villapando turns toward the sidelines. Ball's on the far hash. You got Rucker lined up as the solo receiver short right and two wide receivers wide left. Look for Terry Hayes down here on an island. Snap comes. McGill, it's a quick throw. It's going to be nearly picked off. Zach Absher just about had a pick. And, Keith, that might have been a pick six if Absher catches that football.
Could have very well. You know, Hayes fell down that time. He slipped and fell. And Absher really was the only one out there that could do anything with it. And, there was a lot of green grass in front of him in that goal.
Yes, there was. But now the fumble's washed out. The defense got the stop and the hold they needed. So with 4:47 to go in this first quarter, West Wilkes takes back over. First down and 10 at their own 39-yard line as Travis Walsh is going to go under center. Billings is the fullback. Braden Woody now the wing back. Snap comes. It's a handoff to McDougal. Jaheim McDougal going up the teeth of that Wilkes Central defense. Good push by Jaheim.
Yeah, that was about almost a 4-yard gain right there.
So good job by Jaheim McDougal as he's up to about the 44-yard line. Brings it up to about a second down and 6 for the Blackhawks. And Keith, in this wing T offense that the Blackhawks are in, if you can get 4 or 5 yards of carry, that's what you want in the wing T.
Yeah, I mean, we saw that, when they went to that pro set against North Wilkes. They were a lot more effective with that particular kind of offense than the spread.
Walsh goes under center here. 4 minutes to go, first quarter. And
looks like we've got motion by the Blackhawks.
That's going to be against number 60. That's Cole Hayes. That's going to back him up. You know what happened? You saw Wilkes Central lean in on that defensive front and it got Hayes to jump.
Well, that's what makes it tough in this particular kind
of they changed the call. They're saying I saw the defender move pre-snap. They're saying the defender caused Hayes to jump.
Okay, so we're about second and 1 now.
Second and inches.
Bring up second and
This is where in the wing tee, you just turn around and hand it to your fullback. It's got Mason Billings written all over it, Keith.
I'm almost quarterback sneak on this one.
We saw Travis Walsh get a 2-point conversion with his feet against North Wilkes. Second down and inches for the Blackhawks. Ball at their own 48-yard line. Walsh under center. Walsh, he fumbles the football.
I believe he fell on it.
Wilkes Central saying they have it.
But it looked like Walsh fell on it from my vantage point.
Walsh had trouble with the snap.
He got it back. So the Blackhawks catch a break right there. Travis Walsh just lost possession of the football. And now it's third and call it 2.
I mean, that just shows the, he's
nerves and the inexperience.
And everything like that. But, the way that Wilkes Central is lined up with that 4, they have nobody on the nose.
Yeah.
So that'd be a great time for a quarterback sneak right there.
Third down and 2 for the Blackhawks. Ball at their own 48-yard line. Walsh under center. Walsh takes the snap. It's a handoff to Mason Billings, and Billings has got the first down across the 50, down to about the Wilkes Central 46-yard line, and that's an Elk Outdoors of Elkin first down. Moose on the carry that time for the Blackhawks, and that's what you want to see, Keith. Big number 44 with the football. Looks like John Riggins back in the day for the Washington Redskins.
Mason Martin on that stop for the Eagles, and a great job as he ran on the right-hand side of that line right there. Great job by that right tackle over there.
So here we are, 2:52 and ticking, first quarter clock. Still no score here in Millers Creek. Walsh under center on 1st and 10. Walsh sends McDougal in motion. It's a rocket to McDougal. McDougal trying to cut back and does, but he's not going to get much as big number 72, that is Luis Cabrera, in on the tackle for the Eagles, and he's going to actually lose a yard back to about the 47.
Yeah, Wilkes Central really can pursue. They pursue so well to the ball, especially on sweeps.
It's going to be hard to run anything outside on this Eagle team, Keith.
Yeah.
It really is. So it's going to be second down and 11. Ball at the Wilkes Central 47-yard line. Still no score here between West Wilkes and Wilkes Central. So we close in on the 2-minute mark here in this first quarter. Keith, I don't care what anybody says, this is a win if you're West Wilkes to almost be at the first quarter and still be no score.
Yeah, it's a great job by
Jumbo set on the right side of that line for the Blackhawks. Snap comes. It's Travis Walsh on a quarterback keeper, and Walsh is going to gain some positive yards across the 45 as he's down to about the 44 or 43-yard line
gain
to bring up third down and 7. I like that play, Keith. You know, Walsh is a better runner than Logan Wayne. He's faster. If you load up that side and give him a gap, we saw him on that 2-point conversion run around the corner and use his speed. He's a young man that is a very good athlete. So here we go, third down and 7 for the Blackhawks. Ball at the Eagle 43-yard line. Walsh under center. He's got Russell Patrick in at fullback, Woody on the wing. Jaheim, the tailback, goes in motion. Walsh is going to pass. Walsh has got Luke Tharp, and it's going to be caught down to the 20-yard line, and that's a Blackhawk first down. An Elk Outdoors of Elkin first down. Keith, that was a beautiful pass from Travis Walsh to Luke Tharp.
Well, you know, the only thing, Tharp had to come back for the ball, but I like the mixing because what Wilkes Central was doing, they were loading the box up. They were putting 8 men, 9 men in the box. And, you know, every once in a while you got to take a shot like that to keep them from running in there.
So we're under a minute to play, 45 seconds and ticking. It is 1st and 10 Blackhawks inside the Blue Ridge Energy red zone. Keith, you cannot get to the red zone again and not come away with points.
Well, you know, the best thing, like you said, right now is we're scoreless.
And Walsh, going to be a handoff. It's McDougal up the middle. McDougal down to about the 16, 17-yard line for a good gain of about 3, maybe 4 yards that time.
We may have one time from one more play.
If you're West Wilkes here, do you run another play, Keith, or do you just take it to the quarter?
I'm going to take a shot. I mean, well, they may not even get a play off.
We're down under 10 seconds. I think they're going to quarter it. They're going to quarter it here. Yeah, so that's going to be it. So we've played one quarter here in Millers Creek, and for the first time in quite a while, we're able to look at the scoreboard and say we got ourselves a football game in this matchup. It's Blackhawks 0, Eagles 0. We're back after this on Hometown Christian Radio. And welcome back to West Wilkes High School here tonight. As it's the start of the second quarter, no score here at Millers Creek. And Keith, if you're West Wilkes, your confidence has got to be through the roof right now. You've got to be happy with everything so far.
Well, I know the coaching staff is really happy with. They're not happy with it. They lost the touchdown. But,
Walsh under center. It's going to be a handoff to Braden Woody, and Woody's got a little bit of running room down across the 15 to about the 14-yard line to set up about a 3rd down and 3.
He's brought down by Jake Perry. I'll tell you what, the other night Jake Perry was probably one of the main culprits on this defensive team for the Eagles. I mean, he's their middle linebacker. He's in on about every play. I mean, that young man, he's got a motor that won't quit.
He's a ball hawk, man. So 3rd down and 3 for the Blackhawks. Inside the G&B Energy red zone at the Eagle 14-yard line. You got to be thinking points here if you're West Wilkes. You came 1 yard shy of scoring earlier before you fumbled the football. Walsh has just got to stay calm as he goes under center. He loses the snap again.
I believe Central got it that time.
And the Eagles, for the 2nd straight time, force a turnover in the red zone, and they're going to get the football back. And, Keith, this is not a recipe for success if you're West Wilkes.
Well, I mean, you got a new quarterback in there. He's probably not adjusted to the – and, I like the fact that he comes over to the sideline and the coaching staff gets him, and they try to encourage him. I mean, it's very – a game like this, the pressure is just in this kind of magnitude, it's just beyond – what we can fathom right here.
McGill in the pistol. It's a handoff. Villapando going to be brought down. Good tackle by number 44, Mason Billings, for about a 3-yard gain up to about the 19-yard line from the 16 to the 19, as it'll be 2nd down and 7, just underway here in the second quarter.
2nd and about 7.
And let's see. Official stoppage on the field. An official timeout. Looks like he's talking to one of the Wilkes Central players. You think this is a warning about something, Keith? A little bit of talking going on the field, I'm sure.
I'm sure they want to stop. They don't want to let this thing escalate.
We've seen this game get chippy over the years, that's for sure. No love loss here. 2nd down and 7 for the Eagles. 2 receivers short left. 1 receiver, it's Rucker, wide right. McGill back to pass. McGill going to throw up a bomb, and it's going to be nearly picked off by Luke Tharp. Great coverage by Tharp against Malachi Rucker. And now, I'll tell you what, Luke Tharp has really come to play tonight.
Yeah, but, the thing of it is that he short-armed that throw. If he'd had a little more air under that ball.
And led it where Rucker could have got the football. The fact that he underthrew that actually played in favor of Tharp.
Yeah, Tharp had that one covered really well.
3rd down and 7 for the Eagles. Keith, this is a big 3rd down for the Blackhawks again.
3rd and 7 for the Eagles.
2 receivers, bottom right. That's the wide side of the field. Solo receiver, short left. Single back is Villapando.
I tell you what, Wilkes Central offensive coordinator, if he could just see the Blackhawks the way they lined up, the middle of the field. We mentioned the other night at North Wilkes that they're leaving the middle of the field wide.
They hardly went to it.
All they got to do is just run a slant through the middle, and I mean, there's no help. The safeties are that close to the line. They're not playing deep.
And we have got a timeout on the field by Wilkes Central as they use their first timeout here in the first half. Wilkes Central with a timeout brought to you by Alpha Tango Auto Sales, RiverStreet in Wilkesboro. It's going to be a 3rd down and 7 for the Eagles at their own 19-yard line. And, Keith, if the West Wilkes defense can hold right here, that keeps your confidence going once again if you can force a 3-and-out after the 2nd straight turnover in the red zone.
I was always told I hate to say this, but the lesser team, the longer you let them stay in the game, the more confidence it builds within them. Yeah. And right now, as long as they can keep this score like it is, the confidence is going to build in this Blackhawk team.
2 receivers to the wide right side of the field. That's the bottom side. Ball on the far hash. Solo receiver, top left, short side. Villapando, the tailback. Here comes Terry Hayes. Jet motion. You got to contain him. Terry Hayes has got the gas. Terry Hayes to the 40, 45 to the 50 before finally being brought down. And that's going to be a big 1st down gain all the way to the 50-yard line. West Wilkes has no answer for that jet sweep around the edge.
No, and it's just pure speed. And Terry Hayes, like you said, he's a great track athlete. And once that young man, and especially on a jet sweep, because he's wide open when he gets that ball.
Absolutely right. So it's going to be 1st down and 10, and Elk Outdoors of Elkin 1st down. Ball at the 50-yard line here for Wilkes Central. Ball is on the near hash. They're going 2 receivers to each side of the field. Villapando, the tailback. Here comes Rucker in motion. It's going to be a jet sweep to Rucker. No, McGill pulls it out last second, and McGill is going to be wrapped up. That's going to actually be a loss. Great job by Braden Woody. And I believe, let's see, was that Braden Woody and Scott Green? Scott Green and Braden Woody, great job by them as it's now 2nd down. And call it no gain. They give him back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd down and 10 from the 50.
You got Rucker and Hayes both on the same side of the field.
Yeah, ball on the short hash. Rucker and Hayes lined up wide left. Villapando, the tailback. McGill takes the snap. McGill is rolling out. McGill got to step up, going to try to make a throw to Rucker, and it's incomplete off of his hands. So that's going to bring up 3rd down and 10 from midfield. And that time, West Wilkes was able to get a little bit of a pass rush and force McGill to roll out.
Well, really on that one right there, McGill could have pulled that one down and had about a 10-yard gain there.
Absolutely. So with 8:57 to go, 2nd quarter, it's 3rd down and 10, Wilkes Central at the 50-yard line. Still no score in this football game. It's 0-0. It's been a turnover fest for the Blackhawks and then a stalemate for Wilkes Central so far.
Yeah, if anybody would have thought we'd almost been playing 16 minutes and not have a score,
I'd have told you he was crazy. So here we go, 2 receivers wide left, no receivers short right. McGill back to pass again. He's stepping up. Absher's beat, and Absher gives up the 1st down. All the way down to the 25-yard line. Zach Absher got completely turned around, and it cost him as Terry Hayes makes his presence known on 3rd down again.
And once again, that was a short arm throw, because if Hayes catches that on the run,
it's a touchdown.
That's 6 points.
1st and 10 Eagles. They are at the West Wilkes 25-yard line. Going to go 2 receivers wide right. Ball on the far hash. Snap comes. It's a handoff, Villapando. Villapando's got some running lanes, and Villapando's going to finally be met by a couple of Blackhawks.
And McDougal was the main first one to hit.
Nice shot on that play.
So you got McDougal and Vickers in on the stop for West Wilkes. It's going to be about a 5-yard gain up to the 20-yard line.
The play will bring up 2nd and 6.
They're actually going to mark him a yard short of the 20 at the 21-yard line. It's going to be 2nd down and 6 as they go in the shotgun. 1 receiver wide right for the Eagles, and West Wilkes is going to make it a little bit easier on Wilkes Central here. It's going to be 2nd down and 1 now after the penalty.
Be a 5-yard walk-off.
And that's going to be Landon Gamble coming off the field on a substitution here. It's going to be 2nd down and 1. Ball is at the 16-yard line of West Wilkes inside the G&B Energy red zone. And now Villapando is the tailback. It's going to be a handoff. Villapando, and Villapando's going to score from 16 yards out, and the Eagles are on the board. You can't keep giving the Eagles extra possessions because eventually they're going to cash in and use that speed to their advantage. And it's Wilkes Central 6, West Wilkes nothing with a 2-point conversion pending. I tell you what, there was nobody back on the opposite side of the field for West Wilkes. Everybody got washed down. Nobody there to chase the running back down. And Wilkes Central's going to make you pay every time on that.
That left side of that line, what a hole. I mean,
And a 2-point conversion attempt here by Villapando. And he is good. So that makes it Wilkes Central 8, West Wilkes nothing. 7:38 to go first half. We're back after this on Hometown Christian Radio. And we're back here to Millers Creek. 7:38 to go first half. It's Wilkes Central 8, West Wilkes nothing, thanks to a 16-yard A.J. Villapando touchdown run and a 2-point conversion. Malachi Rucker going to kick, and now this was not a strong point for Wilkes Central Monday night against North. Let's see what they do here. See if they try to give the football in short field position to West. No, they're going to kick it deep. as it's going to be run under by Jet McNeil. He's to the 20, to the 25. McNeil to the 30. McNeil trying to get the sideline far side, and he falls down at the 40-yard line. But still good field position for the Blackhawks. They're going to actually mark him about the 39-yard line. It's going to be 1st and 10.
And now here's where the intestinal fortitude comes into play for the West Wilkes Blackhawks.
Yeah.
I mean, Wilkes Central was scored, and I mean, you know, they could go on to that. Well, you know, we know that
here we go again.
Now this is a very, very important drive for the Blackhawks if they can put something together right here.
You got to have a little bit of sign of life here by West Wilkes. As Walsh comes under center, Mason Billings the fullback, Braden Woody in there at tailback, Jaheim McDougal the wing. It's a handoff to Braden Woody. Woody, good running room down near the 45-yard line. About a 5-yard gain for Braden Woody. And it's going to make it 2nd down and 5. One thing about it, Keith, Braden Woody, you know, him and Mason Billings are a little bit similar in their running style, but Woody brings a little bit more speed to the table.
Well, you know, and the other thing is this is what West Wilkes has done in the years past.
Yeah.
I mean, this is West Wilkes football.
So another timeout. Wilkes Central going to use their 2nd timeout here in the first half. This timeout brought to you by our friends at Alpha Tango Auto Sales, River Street in Wilkesboro. Keith, after 1 quarter, it is Surrey Central and North Wilkes deadlocked at 7 apiece.
Well, that
on our Randy Marion scoreboard.
That really don't surprise me none. The fact that
Coach Wojtecki's maybe, I think he's got that team understanding they can win football games.
Yeah, but you know, the thing about it is both them teams, they like the ball control.
Yep.
So that's going to be an interesting game right there.
So as we come out of the timeout here, once again brought to you by our friends at Alpha Tango Auto Sales, River Street in Wilkesboro. We're going to be 2nd down and 5 Blackhawks. Ball at their own 45-yard line. 7 minutes, 12 seconds left to go first half. Desperately need points due West Wilkes. Walsh goes under center. Snap comes. It's a handoff. Braden Woody again. Woody around that left side, and he's going to pick up about 3 more to bring up about a 3rd down and 2 from about the 48-yard line. Let me ask you something, Keith. You go back to Woody again here since this worked the first 2 times?
Well, you know, I'm from the old Woody Hayes school. 3 yards in a cloud of dust. I mean, hey, as long as it's working, don't go away from it. I mean.
So let's see. It's a big 3rd down and 2 here for West Wilkes. Ball at their own 48-yard line. You got Woody at the wing, and then you got McDougal and Billings behind Walsh as he goes under center. Woody goes in motion. It's a straight midline handoff to Mason Billings, and he's not going to get there. He maybe gets a yard to the 49. Now the question resides, do you go for it or do you punt? It's 4th and 2.
That time they ran to the right side of the line. They've been preferably they've been riding to the left, and the left side of the line's really done a better job of opening up holes. But that time they kind of mixed it up and ran right.
I'll be honest with you, Keith. I agree with the call to go with it right here. 4th and 2. We're under 6 minutes to play first half. You're down 8-0 to a team you have not beaten in 15 years,
well,
and you're 1-4. You have nothing to lose here.
If you're the coaching staff, you're saying I have confidence
in
you guys do that. Don't take that confidence level away from them.
Walsh under center, and we got a timeout by West Wilkes, so they're going to use their first timeout here. This timeout brought to you by our friends at Alpha Tango Auto Sales, River Street in Wilkesboro. We're back after this on Hometown Christian Radio. And welcome back to Millers Creek. A big 4th down coming up for the Blackhawk offense. It's 4th and 2 from their own 48-yard line. You got to find a way to move the chains if you're West Wilkes with 5:38 to go, trailing 8-0, as Walsh is going to go under center here. Now he raises up, surveys. Wilkes Central bringing in the heat, it looks like, on the defensive end. It's a handoff to Mason Billings. Got to push the pile.
Yeah.
Forward progress as he's spinning. Should be a Blackhawk first down. What a run by Mason Billings. Keith, that was pure effort.
Yeah, but I mean, he carried about 3 Eagles with him on that.
And that's going to move the chains for an Elk Outdoors of Elkin first down. The never say die attitude of Mason Moose Billings, and the Blackhawks have a first down and 10 at the Wilkes Central, or I should say really at midfield. Ball's on the Wilkes Central side of the 50. That's got to be a confidence booster if Walsh can just maintain holding the ball in the exchange from the center. So here we go again. Walsh goes under center. Woody the wingback. McDougal goes in motion. Walsh is looking to pass. He's going where somebody, it was Shane Gregg. And some people wanted a flag for pass interference and no call as Shane gets up gimpy.
I tell you what, that's a good throw, though, by Walsh. He put that right where really the only one had a shot at it was Gregg.
What do you see there, Keith? Do you think there was much different there between what they called on Jet McNeil there earlier in the game?
Well, McNeil, he impeded the progress.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that was just two guys going for the football.
Yeah.
So here we go, second down and 10. Ball on the Wilkes Central side of the 50. 4:55 to go, first half. Wilkes Central leads West Wilkes 8-0 as Walsh goes under center. McDougal the wingback. You got Woody and Billings. Going to be a handoff to Braden Woody. Woody's got some running room to the 45, still on his feet across the 40-yard line, and that's going to move the chains it's going to move the chains for an Elk Outdoors of Elkin first down.
All right, so far tonight, running to that left side has really been the forte of this Blackhawk team.
Until Wilkes Central stops it, I'm not running rock.
Well, you got to mix it up every once in a while just to keep them honest. But there again, you look at that the right-hand side of that line. That's where all the beef is for Wilkes Central.
And all the beef for West is on the left side of their offensive line. So first and 10 West Wilkes. Ball at the Eagle 37-yard line. Hand off to Mason Billings, and he's not going to get much of anything. And I don't even know if forward progress is going to give him a yard.
Well, I'll tell you what, when you're running over there into Lewis or Cabrera, 5'11", they say 240, but I tell you what.
It looks more about 275 to me running off the field far. So that's a big boy. If that's 240, then if that's 240, I'm every bit of 185. 3:48 ticking, second quarter clock. Second down and 10 Blackhawks. Ball at the Eagle 37-yard line. Wilkes Central holding an 8-0 lead as Travis Walsh comes out under center. He's got McDougal and Billings as the two backs behind him, and a flag is dropped. It's Wilkes Central sideline warning.
Yeah.
Flag before the snap here.
Yeah, sideline warning.
Sideline warning against Wilkes Central. And that's going to gift West Wilkes some yards.
It's going to mark off another 5, so it's going to bring up
second down and 5 from about the 33-yard line. And Keith, it's common in this game. You know, it just gets chippy every now and again. Walsh under center. McDougal goes in motion. He loses it again, and Walsh just has to fall on the football. That is the third time tonight that has happened for West Wilkes.
Well, I mean, that negated that 5-yard gain right there.
You're back flush now.
Yeah, you're about 3rd and 9, 3rd and 8.
Kick the ball back to about the 36.
But, you know, the only positive thing is the fact that they're taking a lot of time off on these drives.
Yeah.
That's keeping the Wilkes Central offense off the field, and that's very vindictive of the score. 8-0 with 3:01 left to go in this.
And we're under 3 minutes to play. So it's third down and 9 for the Blackhawks. Ball is at the Wilkes Central 36-yard line.
Now you're talking about this team in the spring at halftime was 45-0.
Yeah.
So
flash forward a few months, and now we got a timeout. Timeout West Wilkes. This timeout being brought to you by our friends at Alpha Tango Auto Sales, RiverStreet in Wilkesboro. We're back in 30 seconds on Hometown Christian Radio. Eagles lead the Blackhawks 8-0. And welcome back to Millers Creek as the Blackhawks trail the Eagles of Wilkes Central 8-0. 2:43 to go, first half. It is third down and 9 West Wilkes from the Eagle 36-yard line. Walsh is in the shotgun here. It's spread formation. Two receivers to both sides. As Walsh takes the snap. It's a quarterback draw with Travis Walsh. Walsh is trying to get some running room, and he's going to be brought down hard around the 30-yard line, about the 31-yard line.
First down by about 4 yards.
That was probably about a 6-yard gain, so that brings up about a 4th and 4.
And about a fourth and a long 4, short 5 here from the Wilkes Central 31-yard line. And if you're West Wilkes, Keith, you got to find a way to keep moving the football and move the chains. Here we are, closing in on 2 minutes. If you could find a way just to run out the rest of this clock without giving Wilkes Central the football back, you count yourself going down 8-0 at halftime as a win.
Plus, they get the ball to start the second
Exactly
half.
right. So, and I'll be honest, if I can find a way to move the chains here, and West Wilkes is going to call another timeout with a 4th and 4 pending. This timeout brought to you by our friends at Alpha Tango Auto Sales, RiverStreet in Wilkesboro. That's the last timeout for the Blackhawks here in the first half. And I'll be honest with you, Keith, if I can get inside the 20 or the 15-yard line and down to a final few seconds, I'll line up and try to get at least 3 points on the board in this football game, because at this point, you got to at least find a way to – you should have had 2 touchdowns. You were in the red zone. You turned the ball over at about the 10-yard line, and you turned the football over at the 1-yard line. You've hurt yourself and stripped yourself of 2 touchdowns in this football game. You need points right now any way you can get them.
Well, you know, the biggest thing is have they got somebody – because their kicker is out. Yeah,
Walker Brondos is out.
So, you know, the key is, do they have somebody that can effectively kick? But, you know, this is a big 4th down right here. And, I mean, I'd go for it myself, because if you kick the ball right now, it would more likely go in the end zone, and then you're not helping yourself any. So.
4th down and 4 for the Blackhawks. Walsh going to go trips right here. Walsh takes the snap. Walsh is looking. He steps up in the pocket, and Walsh is going to be brought down for a sack. No, guess who? Number 51, Matthew Bell, and that's a turnover on downs. And the Blackhawks are going to give the Eagles the football back here with 1:49 to go first half. Plenty of time for Wilkes Central to put a drive together to score with the way they can utilize their speed.
You know, there again, you go to that spread, and we saw that the other night when they went against
2 weeks ago.
I mean, the spread just is not as effective as that wing T that they're running. I don't think. That's my prerogative.
And here we go, 2 receivers wide left, nothing short right. Villapando, the tailback, as McGill's back to pass. He's throwing one up to Terry Hayes, and Hayes makes a man miss, and he's going to be tackled out on his own sideline. And that's going to move the chains to midfield for another Elk Outdoors of Elkin first down.
And you know, you continue to give McGill that kind of time.
Oh, he'll pick you apart. We saw it against East Wilkes earlier in the year. 1st and 10 Eagles. Ball at midfield.
And I mean, this is double trouble. When they put Rucker and Hayes on the same side of the field, that really causes a lot of problems for this Blackhawk.
So here we go. McGill back to pass again. Steps up in the pocket, and this one's going to be incomplete. Terry Hayes couldn't come up with a miraculous catch. McGill launched one, and it hung in the air. I'll tell you, if Tharp could have found a way to reposition himself a little bit, Keith, he may have had a play on a pick.
You know, that's a couple of times tonight, McGill has short-armed his throws. All he has to do, I'll tell you, with Hayes' speed, you just put it out there and let him run under the ball.
Absolutely. And now 1:20 left here first half. It's going to be 2nd and 10 Wilkes Central. Ball on the 50-yard line. McGill, ball on the far hash. 2 receivers.
Look for Rucker to go round down through the middle this time.
And it's going to be McGill on a quarterback keeper. McGill looking for some running room, and he's finally going to be wrapped up by Jaheim McDougal. A couple of yards short of the first down marker to about the 43-yard line as we close in on 1 minute to go first half.
So
Wilkes Central is going to burn their last time out here with 64 seconds left to play in the first half. Keith, if you're West Wilkes, you're just wanting to get into the locker room down 8-0.
Well, you know, that play right there, you know, you got to kind of fault McGill. You didn't go out of bounds because simply because, you know, they don't have a lot of time, so they had to use that timeout right there. So I'm looking for Wilkes Central basically put the ball in the air in the next couple series.
Surrey Central has reeled off 14 unanswered points in the second quarter. They now lead North Wilkes 21-7. Tell you what, Keith, the Golden Eagles set alone now as a lone threat to East Surrey's conference championship hopes, and they play in 2 weeks. Wouldn't that be something for Coach Monty Southern and the boys to go into that last week of the season for a chance to win a conference championship against a cross-county rival? So it's going to be 3rd down and about 3. Long 3, or I should say a long 2, short 3 here. Ball's at about the West Wilkes 43-yard line.
You got Hayes on the left and Rucker over here on the right.
Ball's on the far hash. Pistol formation here for the Eagles. Snap comes. It's a handoff to Villapando. Villapando's got running room, and Villapando's heading down the sideline, and Villapando is still going down inside the 20, and that's going to move the chains for Elk Outdoors of Elkin first down. Clock stops to move the chains with 53.5 seconds, and that's going to be 1st and 10 Eagles inside the G&B Energy red zone at the Blackhawk 19-yard line. Wilkes Central looking like they're getting ready to go 2 scores up. And McGill clocks it. And West Wilkes is going to get caught with too many men on the field.
Yep, substitution problem.
And that's going to be some free yardage given up, as if Wilkes Central needs free yardage at this point.
Yeah, substitution.
The legal substitution on West Wilkes.
And it's going to be now 1st and 5 from the West Wilkes 15-yard line, 46 seconds to play. In the first half, Wilkes Central leads 8-0, and they look like they're ready for 6 more. McGill in the shotgun with Villapando, the tailback. 2 receivers, bottom wide side of the field. McGill takes the snap. McGill going to throw it up. It's going to be caught by Rucker, and he's going to get to about the, they're going to call him at the 6-yard line. It's going to move the chains again for an Elk Outdoors of Elkin first down and set up 1st and goal Wilkes Central at the Blackhawk 6. Clock starts now. McGill clocks it again. It'll make it 2nd and goal with 32.7 seconds left.
The ball to stop the clock. 32.7 seconds left in the first half. Ball is on the 6-yard line.
So going to be 2nd down and goal here from the Blackhawks 6. Tell you, Keith, really for West Wilkes, it's been their own. They've shot themselves in the foot way too many times. You're lucky just to be down 8-0. What's soon to get ready to be 2 scores, though, the way this looks. McGill takes the snap and he rolls left. He's throwing wide open, man. Terry Hayes, that's a 6-yard touchdown. And now Wilkes Central has got 2 scores ahead. And if history tells us anything, once Wilkes Central gets 2 scores up, that's when things start to go south for West Wilkes, as they now make it 14-0 with 27 seconds left in the first half. And a 2-point conversion pending.
Offense stays on the field for the 2-point conversion.
Snap comes, handoff Villapando, and he will not get there. The 2-point conversion is stopped, so the score will remain 14-0. Wilkes Central ahead of West Wilkes with 27 seconds to play. And now West Wilkes is going to get the football back. They have no timeouts. You think maybe you get the football here, Keith? Do you maybe look into that reverse play we saw work with Luke Tharp? I mean, at this point, what can it hurt?
Well, if I'm West Wilkes, I'm got to be happy in one aspect. Like you said, you looked at last spring. Now, I know they're 2 scores down.
But it was 45-0 at this point in the spring.
They're still in this ball game. So, I'm just taking a knee, going in there, 14-0. Say, guys, just clean up our game. We don't need to. Basically, these 14 points have been the result of West Wilkes fumbles.
Yeah.
And we said penalties and turnovers is really going to be the difference maker. So far, it has.
27 seconds to play first half.
But you look at time of possession.
It's been dominated by West Wilkes.
West Wilkes is 2-1 over Wilkes Central.
as Rutgers got the ball teed up on the 40. West Wilkes definitely needs a break some way, shape, or form to get a little bit of momentum. Here we go. Ball teed up on the 40-yard line. And it's going to be a low kick. Jet McNeil fields it back at about the 17-yard line. And McNeil fumbles the football. And now Wilkes Central's going to have it back with 17 seconds to play. And they've got a chance to go up 3 scores.
Mason Martin.
Keith, I said they get 2 scores down. That's history tells us that's when the bottom starts to fall out. And just like that, they're in position to go up 3 scores with 17 seconds left.
Well, you got to believe they're going to put it in. They're going to look to throw it to Hayes or Rucker in the end zone.
Oh, absolutely. You got Hayes and Rucker lined up to the left. Villapando is the tailback. McGill is going to clock it. Now, explain to me something. Why on 1st down and 10 do you clock the football when the clock was stopped?
Well, for one thing, what you're going to do right now is he wants to make sure that everybody's on the same page. See, with the clock stopped, he can get a play in from the sidelines right here. He should have had that before he came out on the field.
Absolutely.
That's neither here nor there.
15.7 seconds, 2 receivers wide left. McGill takes the snap. McGill looking. Guess who? He's got Rucker. It's incomplete. Good defense by the Blackhawks. Jaheim McDougal that time on the pass breakup with Jet McNeil. So we're down to 9 seconds.
And that's the first time they've targeted Rucker tonight.
Keith, you got to believe, if you're West Wilkes, this 9 seconds feels like about 9 minutes right now.
I'll tell you what, that, fumbles have just absolutely just been
Can't
the
hang
death
on to the football.
Of this Blackhawk team.
It's 3rd down and 10. 1 receiver to each side. You got to believe it's double goes and pick your poison here. No, Rutgers going to come in motion on a jet sweep. McGill going up top. McGill, it's going to be incomplete.
That was good coverage
by Tharp.
By Tharp that time. Great coverage.
So we're down to 3 seconds. It's going to be one last heave to the end zone.
The one thing Tharp was really, most of the time when you keep your back and you don't look back for the ball, he could have very easily been called for pass interference.
Absolutely.
That time, but I'm glad they let it play on there.
So now here we go. It's going to be 4 verticals here. 3 receivers left, 1 receiver right. Ball on the near hash. McGill takes the snap. And here we go. McGill stepping up, and it's going to be caught. He's short of the touchdown anyway, and there's a flag. It's a hold on Wilkes Central. He's a yard short with no time left. It's not going to be a touchdown. I decline the penalty and go to the locker room. Decline the penalty and go to the locker room. Do not give Wilkes Central another chance if you're West Wilkes. It's a hold against Wilkes Central. And it's declined. And now we head to the halftime locker room with our score. Wilkes Central 14, West Wilkes nothing. Wilkes Communications halftime show starts now.
Wilkes Communications is North Carolina's premier high-speed internet provider. With a reliable fiber-to-the-home network, work, learn, and play without worrying about frustrating slowdowns or waiting for your videos to buffer. Get your local connection to faster internet for your home or business today, all from a hometown company you can trust. Learn more at wilkes.net or give us a call at 336-973-3103.
And it's a 14-0 Wilkes Central advantage on the West Wilkes Blackhawks here tonight. And Keith, I tell you what, it's one of those things, if you're West Wilkes, even though you're down 14-0, there's been way more times in this matchup, the game over the last 15 years, that this game has been 4 or 5 scores at halftime.
Yeah, well, right now, I know if you can feel the bass, I can feel the bass right now from this Pats team. But, both teams coming out here, Wilkes Central comes out to their faithful, and they kind of seem to think that they might have the edge. But, I think this first drive by the Blackhawks is going to tell a lot about the outcome of this game. They've got to get this ball. They've got to do something constructive with it. Try to get down there. Try to put some points on the board, because at that point in time, I think we'll have us a football game.
Absolutely right. So they're going to have to really come out and do something with the football here to start the second half. It was a first half plagued by turnovers for the Blackhawks and crucial self-inflicted wounds, and they've got to find a way to reverse that trend here tonight in this matchup if they want to come from behind effort. You're going to have to do something here tonight, here in this matchup here, as they've got 8 seconds left before we put the ball up on the tee here in the second half. And West Wilkes coming out, a little bit of pep in their step as they come to the sideline here. I think they realize, Keith, and I think they were told at halftime, look, there have been more times than not, you've been on the far, far heel side of this matchup at halftime. You turn back the clock just about 7 months ago, you were down 45 points. I think I'll take 14-0 over 45-0 any day of the week.
You got to believe Coach Collett alluded to that fact in there. I mean, I can't believe that he didn't at least bring that fact up and
point out to say, guys, this has really been of our own infliction. It should at least be a 14-6, 14-8, 14 to even. Heck, Keith, it could even be 14-12 or 14-14. It's their own fault that they're at where they're at. But part of the game of football is halftime adjustments. Halftime adjustments can go a long way. We saw their adjustments they made against North Wilkes play into their advantage. So we'll see how it goes here tonight as Malachi Rucker's got the ball on the 40-yard line, and you got McNeil and Tharp back to receive.
I tell you what, I'm going to definitely lean on that left side of that Blackhawk offensive line.
Absolutely. And it's going to be a short kick, and it's going to go out of bounds. So that'll play to the advantage of West Wilkes, as that'll give them good field position with illegal procedure. So it's going to be 1st and 10 Blackhawks at their own 35-yard line. And as they trail Wilkes Central 14-0 here to start the second half. Ball's on the 35-yard line. And you got to believe, Keith, they really need to put some points on the board here in this first possession of the second half.
Well, I mean, you can't say this is the most important possession.
But it's important.
But it's a very important possession in this game.
Walsh is going to go under center. You got McDougal and Billings lined up behind him. Woody on the wing. Snap comes. It's a handoff McDougal, and that's not going anywhere as they run to the right side. That seemed like it took a little bit to develop, and it's hard to get anything outside on this Wilkes Central team.
Well, the one thing McDougal's slowed up. You cannot do that. I mean,
you've got to hit the hole,
and you got to hit it quick.
So now it's going to be 2nd down and 11 after a loss of 1 on that first play. 2nd down and 11. Ball is at their own 33-yard line. Walsh goes under center. McDougal the tailback, or I should say the wing back. Going to be a handoff to Braden Woody, and Woody is going to be down to the 35-yard line as he gets back to the original line of scrimmage, and it's going to be 3rd down and 10. Well, when you're running the wing tee, there ain't many plays for 3rd down and 10 in your playbook, so you got to find something here. The last thing West Wilkes could afford to do was to go 3 and out on the opening possession of the second half. And they're
Wilkes Central put 8 men in the box.
Well, they know what's coming. Walsh goes under center. Walsh sends McDougal in motion. Fake pitch. He's looking to pass. Walsh has got to do something. He's throwing one up, and it's going to be. Was that caught? What a catch by Tharp, and I think he's going to get the pass interference to go with it. No, he dropped it. He dropped it, but it's pass interference. Got to be pass interference.
I'll tell you what, that was a.
He did catch. But
that throw was way short.
Yeah.
And that's probably a good thing that it was, because if he throws that long, that would have been picked off.
And pass interference against Wilkes Central. So that's going to be a 15-yard penalty, and that's going to be a first down for the Blackhawks. And Keith, it was Luke Tharp who drew a key early in that second half 2 weeks ago. He drew a key pass interference against North Wilkes that gave West Wilkes a little bit of life. I really think Walsh just about threw up a prayer right there and a hope, if you want my opinion.
Yeah, there was a lot of air under that ball, I'll tell you that.
First and 10 Blackhawks, 10.5 minutes to go, third quarter, ball at the midfield. Wilkes Central leading West Wilkes 14-0. Walsh is under center. He takes the snap. It's a handoff to Braden Woody. Woody tried to bounce it outside, and that's just going to be wrapped up by number 21, Mason Martin. Nowhere to go.
We've got an injury. Looks like number, was that 55?
I believe that's Gary Call, number 52, I believe. Or is it 56? He said, I believe Gary Call maybe
52.
It looked like 52 from our vantage point.
Folks, you'll see people walking around the stands with buckets. We have another great.
And with that, as they're working on him on the sideline, let's pause 30 seconds. We'll be back after this. Wilkes Central leading West Wilkes 14-0. And welcome back to West Wilkes High School as they're still working on number 52, Gary Call, down at midfield. We hope he's okay. This is a senior in his last home football game. We hope he's okay. A score update to our Randy Marion of Wilkesboro scoreboard. It is Surrey Central 35, North Wilkes 7.
That don't look too good right there.
No, and that don't.
He's not putting no pressure at all on that left leg.
I'd safe to say, Keith, he's not maybe done. Definitely isn't promising looking. So it's going to be second down and 10 Blackhawks. Ball at midfield on the Wilkes Central side of the 50. You got to think, Keith, at some point I start going into my bag of tricks like they did against North Wilkes. What do you think?
Second and 10 for the Blackhawks.
Well, I like the ball control. They're, the best thing, they're just keeping Wilkes Central.
Walsh is under center. Walsh is looking to pass. He's got Woody wide open, and he throws it long, and it's going to be intercepted. He had Braden Woody wide open in the flats, and Elect throws up a jump ball, and it's going to be picked off.
That was number 20, Jaden Parker.
Ill-advised throw by Travis Walsh. He had Braden Woody wide open in the flats at the stick. There was nobody around Braden Woody, and he throws it 15 more yards downfield. The only thing that would negate this is if they call pass interference on the defense.
Well, if there was anything, it was
pass interference
on the offense.
And that's what they're going to call.
On the offense.
Holding.
Two penalties on the Blackhawks. They're holding and interference.
So double trouble for West Wilkes. And guess what? The Blackhawks start the second half with a turnover.
And I mean that's the fourth turnover tonight for the Blackhawks, and this team.
You can't win like this.
Well, I mean, even if they were really a great, excellent offensive team, you can't give up 4 turnovers right here to this Wilkes Central defense.
Especially when you are so at a disadvantage in the speed category. Ethan Allen comes in motion. It's going to be a delayed handoff, Villapondo, and Villapondo's got running room down to the 40-yard line for a nice gain of about 8 or 9 yards to bring up second down and call it 1.
Yeah, he was brought down by Russell Patrick.
I'll tell you, Keith, Braden Woody was, I can't get over how wide open Braden Woody was. There was not a white jersey around Woody, but instead he tries to make the heroic throw of 15-plus yards downfield when all you need is 10 to move the chains. Snap comes to C.J. McGill. He pumps. Guess what? He's got Terry Hayes deep, and it's going to be incomplete.
He dropped it.
Incomplete. Did they call that a catch?
Ball came loose as he stepped out. It looks like they're saying.
No, they said he caught. Well, that's surprising. He caught the ball and looked like the ball popped out of his hands, but
play is called complete.
But that was a stop and go route right there, and I mean, he just blew right by the defender.
Again, this is why you can't keep giving them free possessions. They've got way too much speed for you to handle on the outside, and you're giving them 10-plus yards. You're giving them 10-plus yards soft coverage and still getting beat downfield. That's the hard thing about it. There's no physicality going on out there. Snap comes. It's going to be a handoff. Villapando. He's got running room. Villapando trying to cut it up, and he's got another first down inside the GNB Energy red zone to the 14-yard line. And, Keith, you can just feel the wheels coming off the wagon.
Well, I mean, this right here is sort of an avalanche effect, almost like a snowball rolling downhill. I mean, it just gets bigger and bigger for the Wilkes Central Eagles.
Same old story, same old song and dance. The crucial mistakes lead to the benefit of the team in green and gold. Snap comes to McGill. McGill, handoff. Villapando, or it's Aiden Bonham around the right side, and Bonham's going to walk in. Absolutely untouched.
2 flags. There's 2 of them.
Let's see, we got some flags down.
One of them was a late flag, so one of them was an early flag, one of them was a late flag.
And let's see.
Got a hold against Wilkes Central.
So that's coming back.
The Eagles, that'll erase that touchdown.
So another hold on Wilkes Central. But honestly, Keith, the thing about it is, Keith, even with the holding penalties, it really hasn't hurt them on offense tonight.
Well, they just turn right around and throw the ball deep.
Instead of scoring from 16 yards, they're going to score from 20. I mean, that's their mindset that they have. They know they have the elite advantage on the outside. Pistol formation. It's a handoff, Aiden Bonham, and guess what? Bonham's going to be back up to the original line marker and gets about a yard above it, up across the 15 to about the 14, 13-yard line. Clock ticks inside 7.5 minutes to go, third quarter, with Wilkes Central leading 14-0.
And I'll tell you what, that left side of that Eagles line is just absolutely just gouging that Blackhawk defensive line.
McGill in the shotgun. Bonham is the tailback. 2 receivers, bottom right. Solo receiver top left. Ball on the far hash. Snap comes. McGill on a quarterback keeper. McGill getting the outside edge. And a shoestring tackle that is saved by Chet McNeil. And that saved the touchdown as it's third down and call it about 3.
It'll be third down. Third and about 3.
Ball is at the West Wilkes 6-yard line.
And I'll tell you what, really, McGill has not had no, I mean, he just sits back there.
Oh, man, he's not even been breathed on. Reminds me of the East Wilkes game back earlier in the year. Pistol formation here. Snap comes, and it's a handoff, Villapando, and guess what? A.J. Villapando's going to walk right into the end zone, make it 20-0 Wilkes Central with a 2-point conversion pending. That is a 6-yard touchdown run by A.J. Villapando with 6:20 to go in this third quarter. It is now all Wilkes Central as their 3 scores up. Jet sweep motion here. Going to be a handoff to Villapando on the 2-point conversion. And Villapando, does he get in? I don't think he does. I've not seen a signal yet. No.
Progress was stopped for the late surge. We don't have a signal yet.
No 2-point conversion, so the score now sits Wilkes Central 20, West Wilkes nothing. We're back after this on Hometown Christian Radio. And welcome back to Millers Creek, where Wilkes Central has now opened up a 20-0 advantage over West Wilkes with 6:20 to go, third quarter. And Malachi Rucker set to boot the ball away. Rucker going to be a short kick. It's going to be fielded by Absher as he gets on the football.
Number 10, Zach Absher,
and he's going to fall at about the 36-yard line for the Blackhawks in their own territory. And they're going to take back over. Turnovers have been the name of the game for the Blackhawks tonight. Some fumbles, interception, turnover on downs. It's pretty much the story. And a lot of it has come on the Eagle side of the 50. So it goes to show you, Keith, really, this game could actually be a lot closer than 20-0 if it wasn't for West Wilkes being their own worst enemy.
Yeah, I mean, the interception last time, I mean, that just about sealed the deal. But they still got plenty of time here, but they got to do something constructive on this drive right here.
And West Wilkes just jumped on the offensive line. That's number 77, Branson Davis, and that's going to back the Blackhawks up 5 more yards.
On the play before the snap, that'll be a 5-yard walk-off.
So,
ball back to the Blackhawks 32.
It's going to back them up to the 32-yard line for 1st and 15. They're not making it any easier on themselves. Walsh goes under center. Woody the wing back. I believe that's Russell Patrick is the fullback. Going to be a handoff to Woody. He runs right into number 51, Jake Perry, or Matthew Bale. I apologize, number 51. And, I mean, it's one of those things that it's just, man, the hole was not there. Woody ran right into the defender. Nobody there to even clear any bit of a pathway. And now it is 2nd down and 15 once again.
You know, usually when you start packing a box in like that, if you could just run somebody about 5 yards right over the middle, tight end or something like that,
yeah,
and just a little dump pass right over the middle. I mean.
And now McDougal goes in motion. Walsh is back to pass, and that was dangerous. They tried to throw a screen out to Mason Billings. There was 4 white shirts around 1 black shirt.
Well, I tell you what, they're awful lucky that Mason Martin didn't get that, because that's 6.
Absolutely.
That's 6 points for the Eagles.
Playing a dangerous game now, and it's one of those things with your West Wilkes 3rd down and 15 with your 2nd-string quarterback, and just not a recipe for success. Ball's at their own 30-yard line. Shotgun formation here. 2 wide receivers, wide right, solo receiver bottom left. Woody and Billings, the 2 backs in the backfield. Snap comes. Walsh is looking. Walsh steps up in the pocket, and Walsh fumbles the football. West Wilkes falls on it. I tell you what, this is just absolutely. What do you do?
I mean, they grabbed him and threw him, and he
just slung the football up in the air.
You got to protect that ball. I mean, you know, you got to put your arms around that and protect it. I mean, it almost seemed like that he was trying to carry it like a loaf of bread right there.
Yeah. And the clock ticks under 5 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. West Wilkes trails 20-0. At that situation, don't try to throw the football up to somebody. Just go to the ground and live to fight another day.
You got Rucker and Hayes back. Which pick your poison?
Yeah, neither. It's going to be bounce across the 50. Up near the 40, and it's finally going to be brought down to the 40-yard line. It was a good punt by Chris West. That was down by David Davis. And so 1st and 10, Wilkes Central. Ball is at the 40-yard line. Keith, you think they come out passing the football here?
Well, I mean, that's been their forte. I mean, really, Villapando, they just use him just to kind of keep the defense honest, but I mean, well, he's gashing
McGill's
with the
picked
run.
him apart, man.
I mean,
there's been no pressure on C.J. McGill. So we got 2 receivers, top left, solo receiver, bottom right. Here comes Ethan Allen in motion from left to right across the middle. It's a quick screen out to Hayes, and Hayes makes 1 guy miss and still going to find a way to get a 1st down.
You know, and he's the kind of player right there. All it takes is 1 missed tackle. You get 1 missed tackle on that young man, next thing you know, all you're seeing is the back of number 3.
Absolutely right.
1st down Central, 10 on the 50-yard line.
1st and 10. Ball's at the 50-yard line. For Wilkes Central, another Elk Outdoors of Elkin first down. They're leading 20-0 here, closing in on 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. 2 receivers, bottom side. That's the wide side of the field. Ball on the far hash. Going to be a handoff to Villapando. Villapando around that right side. Villapando tries to make a man miss. Good tackle by Jet McNeil. But he's down to the Blackhawk 35-yard line for another Elk Outdoors of Elkin first down.
That just, as the old saying goes, speed kills.
Yeah.
I mean, that time right there, he didn't have the greatest of blocking. It's just speed got him there before the defense could pursue.
So here we go. 1st and 10. Going to be another handoff, Villapando. Look at the cutback. Good hit that time by the West Wilkes defensive tackle. That is number 74. That's Landon Gamble. That was a good tackle by Landon Gamble as Villapando took a shot that time to bring up 2nd down and 9 from the West Wilkes 34-yard line as we're down near 3 minutes to go, third quarter. Ball's on the near hash. 2 receivers wide left, solo receiver short right. Hunter Wiles, the H-back, goes from right to left. Snap comes to McGill. McGill, quarterback option. He pitches it out wide to Villapando. Villapando makes some guys miss, and Villapando nearly loses the football. The ball comes, or I should say a flag comes out, and I believe it's going to be a hold on Wilkes Central, Keith.
Yeah, it's in the vicinity of holding, so, yeah, it's holding.
So, that's going to be a 10-yard penalty against the Eagles. The thing has not. The thing about it is, Keith, even though Wilkes Central's up 20-0, this has not been a perfectly played game by Wilkes Central either. I know we're harping on the mistakes for West Wilkes because it's really cost them momentum in this game, but Wilkes Central has not played perfect either.
Well, the thing about it is I have a 15-yard penalty, turn around and make a 25-yard gain.
Yeah, the penalties haven't hurt them, though. That's the thing about it. It's kind of hard to complain. I know the coaching staff will say we need to clean things up, but when you just make it, when it's that easy, not much you can complain about. Is McGill going to go deep to Rucker? Knocked away by Jet McNeil.
Great defense that time.
Jet McNeil, great job to swipe the football away of what would have been 6, as that would have been a near 60-yard touchdown bomb to Malachi Rucker, and Jet McNeil laid out to stop the pass, and now it's 3rd down and 13 for the Eagles. Ball on the Blackhawk 39-yard line.
3rd and 13.
Well, you got to believe if you're Wilkes Central, this is not. They're not going to punt the ball.
No, this is 4-down territory. If anything, this is going to be a handoff here and then chuck one up on 4th down.
Well, you got Bynum in there now.
And a timeout's going to be called. Wilkes Central. This timeout brought to you by our friends at Alpha Tango Auto Sales, RiverStreet in Wilkesboro. We're back after this on Hometown Christian Radio. Third down and 13 for C.J. McGill. He's throwing one up to a wide open number 8. That is Julian Martin, but the pass is incomplete, and now it's 4th down and 13.
Yeah, he short armed that one, but Martin was wide open right there. If he put a little more air onto that thing.
You know what's coming right here on 4th and 13. I'm telling you, Keith, you got Rucker down here, ball's on the far hash. You got Rucker lined up short side. You got Terry, or I say wide side for Rucker. That's the bottom right side. Then you've got Terry Hayes lined up short left. You mark my words, this is sending 2 guys out, and McGill's getting ready to chuck one.
They're going to put him on this new kid right here.
Here we go. You got Julian Martin in the slot to the wide side of the field, and now a timeout. Is Wilkes Central going to burn another one? They are. So Wilkes Central going to burn a second timeout here. This timeout being brought to you by our friends at Alpha Tango Auto Sales, RiverStreet in Wilkesboro. A score update to our Randy Marion of Wilkesboro scoreboard shows Elkin and Allegheny deadlocked at 14 apiece. Well, Keith, what happened? It's just we've got motivation mojo for Allegheny, because anytime we pick against them, they keep a game competitive or find a way to win. I just don't understand.
Well, I believe the only time that we got right was when they played Mount Airy.
Yeah, we got that one right.
When they played East Wilkes.
That's been the only two we've gotten right. So on that front, anyway.
And I still think about the time when they played Grayson County. They were 41-point underdogs and won.
Well, you know, we were wrong on that one. A man can admit where he was wrong and why he was wrong, and that was definitely one of them at that point in time. So here we go, 4th down and 13. You got to believe Wilkes Central is going to be throwing up a prayer here. Snap comes. McGill looking. He rolls right. He's looking. He steps up. He throws. It's incomplete. Intended for Malachi Rucker, so the Blackhawks are going to get the football back.
Blackhawks hold on 4th down.
4th down. And a turnover on downs, I should say, for the Blackhawks. A turnover on down for the Eagles. I apologize. Blackhawks are getting the football back, if I could get my mind straight for about 2 seconds. So, Keith, they forced a turnover on downs here. That's a win for the West Wilkes defense.
Yeah, I mean, you know, that's a great thing. Now, can they do something?
And now it's going to be 1st down and 10. For West Wilkes, ball is at their own 41-yard line. Or 39-yard line, I apologize. Snap comes. Walsh is looking to keep it. Walsh tucks his way up the left side of that defense and falls for about a good 4 or 5 yard gain. You know, we've not seen many plays tonight where they've called number 4's number. And he does, the best thing he brings to the table is his feet because he's a fast runner. It may be what they need to do, Keith, is get some triple option involved here.
Well, that could be RPO type stuff. And but you know, the one thing they've kind of went away from is bringing Woody out here to the left-hand side. They've gone away from that. That was so successful in the first half.
2nd down and 6, Blackhawks, ball on their own 43-yard line. Under a minute and a half to go, 3rd quarter. It's a straight handoff to Mason Billings, and he's got nowhere to go. And that's going to be 3rd and 6.
That left side of that Wilkes Central defensive line has just been like a wall, stone wall there. There's nothing. They've not got anything on that left.
So 3rd down and 6 from the 43-yard line. And for West Wilkes, you got to figure out something here. Is under a minute to go now, 3rd quarter, and you trail 20-0. As Walsh comes in from the sideline with a play call in the huddle. Just Wilkes Central's ready for it. Look, I mean, you count them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 defenders lined up on the line of scrimmage. Walsh is going under center now down to 37 seconds, and a timeout is called. Timeout West Wilkes.
It's almost a delay of game right there.
And once again, this timeout brought to you by our friends at Alpha Tango Auto Sales, River Street in Wilkesboro. West Wilkes has got to figure something out here on this 3rd down and 6. It's definitely 4-down territory if you don't get it. You have no choice but to go for it when you're down 20-0, and we're closing in at the end of the 3rd quarter here with 36.6 seconds to go. Well, again, you've got to find a way to move the chains.
Yeah, you know, and
I'll be honest with you, Keith, I don't pass the ball here.
Well, you know, that's been an adventure in itself,
yes,
right there. You know.
So I mean, it's one of those deals. You got to figure out something. You got to figure out something here if you're West Wilkes. You can't get too fancy though. Here's the thing. Do you think they go spread here? That's what I'm sitting here thinking.
Well, you know, it's 3rd and long. And
the wing tee's not meant for 3rd and long.
No.
They're staying wing tee. I like this call here. They're going to go Tharp wide to the bottom left side of the field. Snap comes. Walsh is rolling out. Walsh is going to throw to Billings. That never had a prayer for anything. And so now you're facing 4th down and 6.
So once again, the punt. But what they did was they went after McNeil. That was who they were targeting because he's only a freshman out there. So, but, you know, he's constantly throwing into double coverage. It's a wonder that
the ball don't get picked off a little bit more. So West Wilkes is going to punt the football here with 31.7 seconds, trying to pin the Eagles deep.
Now, who do you punt it to?
I'll punt it out of bounds before I punt it to Malachi Rucker or Terry Hayes or Julian Martin for that matter. And I don't kick to neither one. It's a fake punt. Woody's going to pass the football, and it's going to be caught. Jet McNeil and the Blackhawks are going to move the chains for a first down.
Boy, I tell you what, that was luck. I tell you, let's give McNeil a little credit. He had to go down on his knees to catch that.
Great job.
If they throwed that thing up in the air, he had some running room there.
Absolutely. Good job. Good job by Braden Woody. They'll use his arm a little bit. And Jet McNeil come down with a football as he had to go all the way to the grass and then some to come up with that football. Under 8 seconds to play. Let's see if the Blackhawks run another play here. 5 seconds on first down and 10. 3 seconds. They're going to get the play off. It's a handoff to Braden Woody, and Woody rumbling forward down near the 40-yard line. That's the first time we've seen that here in the second half, and it comes a positive yardage to end the third quarter.
That was their kind of their go-to play the first half. They went away from it. They went completely away from it, and now they went back.
As we head to the fourth and final quarter, our score, Wilkes Central 20, West Wilkes nothing. We're back after this on Hometown Christian Radio. And we're back here in Millers Creek. During that break, West Wilkes hurried out and got the playoff here at the start of the fourth quarter, and it was a ball. Jaheim McDougal was wide open, and Walsh put it right to him, Keith, and he just dropped the football.
That was the best throw Walsh's throw tonight. I mean, he put it right between the numbers, and you can't blame Walsh for that throw. I mean, you can't put it there no better.
So it's going to be third down and call it 6. Ball is at the Wilkes Central 41-yard line. As West Wilkes comes out under center. Billings the fullback. McDougal the tailback. Woody is the wing. And now a flag comes out as Wilkes Central lined up in the neutral zone, or is it delay a game? A delay a game penalty.
That'll back them up and give them a longer third down.
So it's another penalty. That turns 3rd and 6 into 3rd and 10.
And like I said,
they're their own worst enemy.
This offense is not built for that kind of.
No, it's absolutely not. It's Walsh. Going to roll out to his right. Walsh is looking. He's going to throw one, and Woody nowhere near it. And now it's fourth down again.
Opening up a 4th and 10.
I mean, in this situation, you have nothing to gain by punting the football at this point. You're down 20-0, 11:45 to go in the football game. I don't think punting the football does you any good here.
Well, I mean, the only thing it possibly does is just makes Wilkes Central try to gain an extra 20 yards.
If anything, it's a pad for their offensive stats. So they're going to go for it here on 4th and 10. Ball at the Eagle 46-yard line.
And a timeout's been called.
Was it West Wilkes timeout?
Let's see. Yeah. Another West Wilkes timeout's been used. That's their second of the half here, as they only have one timeout left in this football game. It's being brought to you by our friends at Alpha Tango Auto Sales, River Street in Wilkesboro. I don't really understand the timeout call there unless there was not a communication line served up right. There may have been an error in communication out there somewhere.
Could have very well been, but go to if you got to go out there 4th and 13. You got to go back into that playbook and see in this particular kind of offense how many plays you got.
Absolutely.
4th and 10.
You got to figure something out here. If you are the West Wilkes Blackhawks for this 4th down and 10.
And going into the spread, we've seen tonight, Walsh really has no time at all.
No, absolutely
to make any kind
not.
of throw.
So, 4th down and 10 here as the West Wilkes offense trots back out on the field for a big 4th down here to try to keeping themselves in this football game. East Surrey still leading Forbush 28-14 in the 3rd quarter in Pilot Mountain on our Randy Marion of Wilkesboro scoreboard. Walsh in the shotgun. 2 receivers right, 1 receiver left. Walsh looking, he steps up, he throws a prayer, it's going to be intercepted, nope, knocked away. He threw that into double coverage. Tharp was walled off completely, had no chance to catch the football, and it's a turnover on downs. I really don't know what he saw there, Keith. I mean, well, here's my thing. There comes, to an extent, you got to play for the sticks. If you just play, you need 10 yards. Why try to get 25? I've never understood run your play to the sticks, move the chains to get a fresh set of downs.
Well, I mean, he had a couple of receivers wide open, probably about 8 yards, and, you know.
I think he predetermined where he was going to throw that football.
Well, you know, you throw it at 8 yards.
And we're going to have a
flag goes high in the air before the snap there.
sideline warning against West Wilkes. I don't know who it was on. Not sure who it was on. I guess they caught the player standing across the lines. It's the best thing I can do. They didn't mark any yards off those. McGill takes it 1st down and 10. It's a late pitch out to Villapando, and that's going to be up near the 1st down marker, but that's coming back. Looks like that is coming back.
I mean, that's a late play. It was a hole right in front of him, and he waited the play was over to throw it. Come on, man.
And with 11 and a half minutes, it's going to back Central up 10 more yards. And it's not going to get easy for Wilkes Central after tonight, Keith. Their last 2 games of the season going to be Tuesday night against East Surrey, and next Friday night, I should say, October the 29th, Forbush comes to town as Jeremy Funderburk comes back to his old stomping grounds. I think Wilkes Central knew if they didn't want to avoid a winless conference season, they needed to put a W on the board tonight.
Yeah, this is a very important game for them. But you know, Shane Compton and Funderburk coming back.
That's
the
big.
Old Wilkes Central connection right there.
McGill on 1st and 20. He takes the snap. He's looking. He's going deep. He's got Rucker, and it's incomplete. Chet McNeil again breaks it up.
You know, every one of McGill's throws has been short arm.
Yeah.
I mean, if he throws that thing out there
in stride,
I mean, Rucker's got 6.
I'll
He
tell
had
you
to
what,
stop and come back for the ball.
Jet McNeil has really done the best he could do at corner tonight, given the matchup circumstances. He's done his best to bat down any ball that's come his way.
Yeah, I mean, you know, luckily.
That's a tough draw matchup.
Luckily, most of the throws have been short on.
2nd down and 20 for the Eagles. Ball at their own 35-yard line. 2 receivers to both sides. Now the H-back goes in motion from right to left. Snap comes. And it's going to be a pitch out to Villapando. Villapando reversing field, and there's going to be a flag.
Villapando wrapped up after a gain of about 9.
And that's going to back Wilkes Central up 10 more yards. It's going to be a block in the back, I believe.
Block in the back.
Been a slow-moving start to this 4th quarter. Just 10:57 remains, and it feels like we've been at the start of the 4th quarter now for a solid 10 minutes. That's going to make that 2nd down and 20 about a 2nd down and 30. And that's going to back them up to their own 30-yard line. You're looking at about a 26, 27-yard 2nd down here, about 2nd down and 26. Long way to go, but that's really not been an issue for Wilkes Central here as they go 2 receivers to both sides and Villapando the tailback.
Central needs to make the Blackhawks 44-yard line.
McGill back to pass. He's got all day. He's going deep to Terry Hayes, and it's caught in stride. And that's a Terry Hayes touchdown, just like that. A 70-yard touchdown strike from McGill to Hayes, and it's now 26-0. And West Wilkes has no answer for the speed on the outside.
Yeah, I mean, once they lined up, I could see if Hayes goes to the middle, there just ain't no way, because I tell you what, all he's got to do is beat one man. He has no safety help at all.
So now Wilkes Central lining up for the 2-point conversion. McGill and the pistol on the 2-point conversion. Snap comes, handoff Villapando, and Villapando's going to walk in clean without being touched. And it's now Wilkes Central 28, West Wilkes nothing. We're back after this on Hometown Christian Radio. 10:19 to go, fourth quarter. And we are back here in Millers Creek tonight. It is 28-0. Wilkes Central with the advantage over West Wilkes. And Keith, Wilkes Central on the verge. They're 10 minutes away from putting notch number 16 in a row on the board.
Well, I mean, that play right there was just athleticism on Terry Hayes' part. He just absolutely just blew by the West defender. And they're doing one-on-one coverage. I mean, they have no deep help at all. And on that one right there, that was probably the best throw McGill threw tonight, because he actually threw that out there and Hayes had to go after it.
And so, Wilkes Central going to line up to kick the football. Rucker runs up, and it's a squibber. It's going to be fielded by West Wilkes down at the 35-yard line, and that's where the Blackhawk offense will take over. First down and 10 with 10:15 to go in this football game, and they trail 28-0. Tell you, Keith, you go back to those two early fumbles when you're in the heart of Eagle territory in the red zone, man, and that just the Blackhawks have never recovered from that.
Well, I mean, you know, that right there.
They had two prime chances to put points on the board.
You got to wonder what would happen. What if, you know, at this point in time.
As Walsh goes under center, he takes the snap. It's an option play, and Walsh is just eat up in the backfield. Nowhere to go, no time. And he's going to lose a yard. Number 23, that is John Tate Maston on the stop. And now Walsh comes back in for second down and 11. Ball at their own 34-yard line. That clock is ticking at 9:46 and rolling. Wilkes Central with a 28-0 advantage.
A lot of clean jerseys in there now for the Eagles.
And I believe you'll start to see more for the Blackhawks. Snap comes. Walsh fakes the handoff and he rolls out. He's got to do something with it. He's going to just tuck it down now with his feet and gain up near the 40 to about the 38-yard line to set up a third down and 7. That was actually smart decision-making by Travis Walsh.
Yeah, I mean, that right, he didn't have nobody open right there, and so he just pulled it.
And now,
looks like we got to change the quarterback.
No, Walsh is coming to the sideline to get the play call. Now, one has to wonder, Keith, as this game goes on, how many of these JV players start to get some snaps in this football game? They're taking a lot of time. They ain't careful, they're running into delay of game territory. No urgency out of this offense whatsoever. They've got to snap the football. Snap comes. Fake handoff. Walsh looking. He's going to chuck one up.
Oh, no.
And it's going to be incomplete. He's lucky it wasn't picked.
I tell you, there's 4 white shirts around that one right there. I mean,
there's a flag down back at the 35-yard line.
I bet they're going to wave it off. It's bound to be a hold.
Yep, yeah. Holding on the offense. And they're going to accept it. What would have been fourth down, they accept it. I think that's a little bit of a, we're just going to put you a little bit more in your own misery acceptance of a penalty right there. It's third down. It's not fourth down. And West has got to burn another timeout. The communication tonight has not been good at all by the Blackhawks. They've burned through their timeouts. They've took a lot of times when it comes to calling plays in. Communication has not been a strong suit here for this team tonight. 28-0 Wilkes Central leads. We're back in 30 seconds. And welcome back, as Wilkes Central now apparently has chose to decline the penalty after they originally said they accepted the penalty. Just communication line all around here tonight has not been well. I thought once you accept it, Keith, though, there wasn't no changing back.
Well, I don't know that they
had time to say they accepted.
I don't know. That don't make a lot of sense. But I mean,
Chris West into punt.
I couldn't understand why you would want to accept the penalty.
So Chris West into punt for the Blackhawks. High snap. West gets it. Good punt. As it's going to go to the 40 and bounce out at about the 37-yard line, where Wilkes Central will take back over. Another score update: Surrey Central all over North Wilkes, 45-7. And now we got a personal foul penalty against Wilkes Central. And Keith, the thing about it is, you start adding up personal foul penalties in a game that is in hand at 28-0 with 8 minutes to go. Things can snowball in a bad trajectory if the referees don't get this under control. Because I can promise you, there is no love lost on either side between these
bad
two.
Blood between these schools. But you know, I'd almost, you talk about that Surrey Central score. I mean, this team has absolutely a Jekyll and Hyde type thing. They've gone from getting absolutely walloped by East Wilkes to now they're walloping everybody.
Absolutely.
I'd almost be interested in watching them again.
At East Surrey, last game of the season, what's really going to be for the Foothills 2A Conference Championship, because they're both looking like they're going to be undefeated in conference play. First down and 10. That roughing the kicker actually gave West Wilkes a first down, and they're coming out in the spread. As Walsh is looking to pass, he steps up, and that's going to be picked. Nope. Oh, man, he threw it way over the head of his receiver. There was 4 white jerseys around it. I honestly thought it was going to be picked.
2nd and 10.
So he avoided disaster there. I seen one black shirt, but the ball was about 5 to 8 yards ahead of him and saw 4 white jerseys.
Well, right now, see, you need to throw toward the sidelines because
it's going to be a hold on West Wilkes.
Everything's packed into the middle on this Central Eagle defense, and you don't want to throw into the strength.
No. After that hold, that's going to make it first down and 20 for the Blackhawks, all the way back at their own 43-yard line.
And I mean, the one player you don't want to challenge over here is number 4, Rucker.
Yeah. Shotgun formation with Walsh. Snap comes. Walsh looking to pass. It's a screen out to Billings, and he hauls it in for no gain. Good tackle on that far side of the field by number, I believe that's number
58.
Nate Turner. So, that's going to be second down and 20. West Wilkes just desperate to try to get something to go their way here. Clock is at 7:39 and ticking, fourth quarter. Blackhawks trail 28-0. I mean, you have nothing to lose by getting fancy here if you're West Wilkes. You just try to find something. Snap comes to Walsh, trip set wide side. It's a quarterback draw. Up the middle goes Travis Walsh. He's across the 50 to the Wilkes Central 48-yard line, and he's about 2 yards short of the original line of scrimmage to set up third down and call it 11.
That's one of the bright spots right there for the West Wilkes offense. I mean, their offense this second half has just gone stagnant.
Absolutely. We've hardly seen Braden Woody carry the football here in the second half.
And to me, that's
and he had success in the first half.
Yeah, and you know, the one time they ran him here, he ran for about a 6-yard gain, but they've just went away from him.
Third down and 11 for the Blackhawks. Ball at the Wilkes Central 48-yard line. trips to the wide side of the field. That's the bottom right side as Walsh takes the shotgun snap, throws middle of the field. It's going to be that ball was batted up in the air as Jed McNeil took a shot, and I thought Wilkes Central Rucker had a beat on it, but just couldn't reach out to it. And now it's 4th down and 11. And you got to go for it here with 6:28 to go in the 4th. It doesn't. I mean, you don't gain anything by punting this football. So, 4th and 12. 4th and 11, I should say, at the Eagle 48. Here comes the blitz. Walsh looking. He looks. He throws up a prayer, and it's going to be intercepted this time. You could not keep on trying to toy with this defense, and you keep throwing it into the beat where there's white jerseys everywhere.
That was Isaiah Graham, and
you can't keep throwing it into where there's more of the other team's jerseys than your jerseys, and we got an injured Blackhawk down here. Is that Luke Tharp?
It looks like Tharp. Luke Tharp, yeah.
Shaking up on the play.
As he's going to get attended to by the trainer.
You're just asking for trouble if you're going to throw it to the white shirts. Eventually, the white shirts are going to make a play on it. So
while Tharp's being looked at, let's take a break. Wilkes Central takes back over possession of the football with 6:18 to go in a 28-0 ball game. We're back after this on Hometown Christian Radio. And welcome back to Millers Creek. It's a handoff to A.J. Villapando on 1st down. And Villapando versus Field. And he's going to get down to about the 40-yard line.
That's going to be a 1st down.
At Elk Outdoors of Elkin, 1st down for A.J. Villapando. And Keith, I can promise you one thing. Wilkes Central's not done scoring, I don't believe.
No. But you got to wonder at this point in time, are they going to try to do it on the ground? So far, they've been pretty successful in the air. But once again, I mean, you got McGill back there just.
Well, it's not like you have to pass the football. I mean, you've got the game in hand 28-0 with 6 minutes to go. McGill, handoff. It's Villapando down to midfield, and he's going to be about a yard short of the 1st down mark of the game.
If you're going to get 9-10 yards of crack, I mean, I don't know why you'd want to throw the ball.
Yeah.
Let them let that offensive line do their work for you up there. And that left side of that offensive line is really doing.
They've been a juggernaut.
Yeah, they've got gashes in that.
McGill takes a snap, turns around and hands it off. It's Aiden Bynum, and Bynum's going to lose the football.
Number 32, Aiden.
They're saying he was down.
Ball came loose.
And number 51, Matthew Bell, fell on the football. Good job by the Blackhawk defense to rip at that football, and it moves the chains, though, for Elk Outdoor of Elkin 1st down.
This may be all for Rucker and Hayes. They're not even on the field right now for the Eagles.
Snap comes, handoff, Aiden Bynum. We've also got a new quarterback in. It is number 11, Noah McNeil.
And number 14 out there, that's Isaiah Graham. Looked like him and Zach Absher kind of had their own little wrestling match going on.
And that's the thing you got to watch in a game like this, Keith.
And see, what right now you don't have the these are the guys that are the second string guys or whatever.
Thing about it is
that they're taking Graham off the field right now. That's probably not a bad thing.
Well, he basically initiated the extracurricular activity, and they called offsettings. So it's on Absher and him both.
Well, from my vantage point, it looked like Graham was the one that initiated it right there. But I mean, it's always the second man that gets it.
So Noah McNeil, the freshman, in at quarterback. Bynum, the tailback, in the pistol. Snap comes. Handoff. Aiden Bynum. Bynum going around the right side. Bynum's got a hole, and Bynum's down to the 30-yard line. And a flag, I believe it's coming back with a hold.
Yeah, it's hold.
Aiden Bynum with the carry. That's going to be Call back by in honor of Mr. Tim Hall, another flag.
And now that's going to move them back for Wilkes Central.
We had more flags tonight than a night race at Bristol. I'm not really sure what that means.
Public address announcer Kelly Allison paying tribute to longtime PA voice Tim Hall. In a game that carried a lot of flags up here, Tim was synonymous for kind of letting the referees know it, and always talking about we having more flags than a night race at Bristol. So that one, in honor of the great Tim Halls, it's now going to be second down and 15 for Wilkes Central. And let's see, what's the issue now? Must be an equipment issue with number 8. That is Julian Martin, and he's going to have to go off the field. And here comes number 14, Isaiah Graham.
A lot of confusion there on the field, a lot of confusion.
Stop the clock.
As the clock continues to roll under 4 minutes.
Let's delay a game.
Aiden Bonham gets the handoff around the right side. He goes, and Aiden Bonham still on his feet. Aiden Bonham to the 30, to the 25 before finally being brought down.
No flags.
And that'll stop the clock to move the chains. First down and 10 Eagles. Ball is at the West Wilkes 24-yard line inside the G&B Energy red zone. McNeil in the pistol. McNeil takes a snap, turnaround, handoff, Aiden Bonham once again. Bonham slips a couple of tackles, and Bonham's going to score. Bonham goes all the way in for a Wilkes Central touchdown from 24 yards out, and that's going to make it 34-0 with a 2-point conversion pending.
Is there an official down on the clock?
34-0 now is our score with 3:10 to go. $34-0 our score, 2-point conversion here with Noah McNeil. Snap comes, handoff Aiden Bynum, who is going to get in for 2 more, make that 36-0.
We're making them look like superstars.
So we got 3 minutes and 10 seconds left to play here in Millers Creek, and it's all Eagles, 36-0. We're back after this on Hometown Christian Radio. And welcome back to West Wilkes High School with 3 minutes, 10 seconds to go. In the fourth quarter, it is 36-0. Wilkes Central leading West Wilkes. Wilkes Central getting ready to extend their long varsity winning streak over the West Wilkes Blackhawks. It's been 15 years and get ready to make it 16 as the W's keep on coming for the varsity team for the Wilkes Central Eagles. Now, last night of the JV game, West Wilkes was victorious 42-22. The future is bright because that JV team for West Wilkes is undefeated with 1 game left to play against East Surrey on Thursday night.
Rucker on the kick for the Eagles. Jack McNeil.
So Rucker is going to boot the ball deep. And let's see, did somebody jump a little early? I don't know. I know they're going to say he can kick. So Rucker kicks, high kick, and it's going to go out of bounds.
Short kick bounces out of bounds at about the 33-yard line.
How in the world did he save that from going out of bounds is what I want to know, Keith. They mark it out, so West Wilkes will get it at the 35-yard line with 3:08 to go.
Another yellow hanky down.
You know, the thing about it is the first player to touch that kick was a Wilkes Central player. And, you know, if he's got that ball and caught it and come down inbounds, it had been Wilkes Central ball.
Man.
It's like the West Wilkes just went kind of, I hate to say that, kind of brain dead out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, there was no immediacy in trying to get that football.
So now it's going to be 1st and 10 Blackhawks.
And they're waving the flag off.
Well, one of these days we'll get it right somewhere down the line. It is 1st and 10 Blackhawks. Ball there on 28-yard line. 3:08 to go, trailing 36-0. Walsh goes under center. Got to be a handoff. That's Jaheim McDougal, and he is just met with nowhere to go by that Wilkes Central defense.
And that was Carter Elmore on that stop.
36-0, Wilkes Central in complete control of this football game as the final 2 minutes and 41 seconds tick off the clock.
Short gain on the play brings up 2nd and 9 for the Blackhawks.
And you got to believe that, the Blackhawks would like to put some kind of points on the board.
Snap comes and Walsh fumbles the football.
Walsh can't handle the snap, falls on it.
I'll be honest.
Ball goes back to the original.
What would it hurt?
Give the Blackhawks
there's going to be some receiving exchanges going on and substitutions. West Wilkes may be looking to go spread here with under 2 minutes to go. It's 3rd down and 11.
Well, if you're Walsh, you got to definitely look at. He gets locked in on one receiver, and he does not have a tendency to look at any of the other ones. But I'm throwing that ball to the outside, not trying to throw that ball to the middle.
Snap comes, and it's a bad snap. Walsh is looking to chuck one up. He throws out a screen, a check down to Russell Patrick, who slips and falls.
And we got a flag.
Is it going to be roughing the passer?
Pass complete to Russell Patrick.
It's in the vicinity of roughing the passer. That was number 58, Nate Turner.
Maybe got a late shot on Travis Walsh.
And
let's see.
Like I said, a lot of these kids out here for the Eagles right now, they're
roughing the passer is the call.
Late shot on the quarterback there, penalty on Central.
So that's going to have West Wilkes first down.
Yeah, that's an automatic first down to go with a 15-yard penalty with 1:28 to go.
41-yard line, 1st and 10.
Let's see how the Blackhawks come out. Looks like they are going to go back under center here in the wing tee. Russell Patrick, the fullback. McDougal, the tailback. McNeil, the wing back. And Wilkes Central just jumped. That's number 58. That is Nate Turner again.
Wonder what kind of warranty those flags have.
So it's going to be 1st down and 5 Blackhawks from their own 45-yard line. Snap comes to Walsh. It's a pitch out. McDougal trying to find running room, and he's drove out of bounds at midfield. And he's going to they're going to mark him short of midfield at the 48.
About a 2-yard gain.
It's going to bring up 2nd down.
And about 4.
I was going to say 2nd and 4. As the clock sits with 68 seconds left to be played. Keith, I got to say, I know who's getting my vote for our Sonic Drive-In Player of the Game on the postgame show.
Well, number 3. You got to definitely look at number 3 over there for
absolutely. Terry Hayes. Walsh goes under center. Snap comes. It's a handoff. Russell Patrick, nowhere to go.
Russell Patrick on the carry.
And we're under a minute to play.
I mean, you don't see the same fire in that offensive line that we saw early in the game.
No, absolutely not. And now we're down to the final. West Wilkes only going to have to run one more play here. And this game will be over as we're down to 40 seconds left. And so Snap comes. It's a handoff to Russell Patrick, and Russell Patrick's going to have a first down, but it's going to come back. It's going to be on West Wilkes. So more penalties here with 16 seconds to play.
That's a legal shift.
Illegal shift going to be the call on the field, I believe. I mean, again, at this point, with 16 seconds left and at 36-0, why even bother calling it at this point? You know,
well,
I just don't understand why it matters. Not unless you get a little bit of extra money in your paycheck if you throw a flag. That's the only thing I can think of. Maybe he dropped the flag, though. Well, I might get me an extra $5 or $10 out of this.
Well, you know, if you're going to be an official.
I got a wife to get home to. I'm a newlywed. I've not even been married 6 months. I'm on a schedule. So now we're finally going to drain the last few seconds off of this clock. And congratulations to the Wilkes Central Eagles as they are victorious 36-0 over the West Wilkes Blackhawks. Wilkes Communications postgame show after this. McGill back to pass. He's got all day. He's going deep to Terry Hayes, and it's caught in stride. And that's a Terry Hayes touchdown. Just like that, a 70-yard touchdown strike from McGill to Hayes, and it's now 26-0. And West Wilkes has no answer for the speed on the outside. And welcome back. It is the Wilkes Communications post-game show. Congratulations to the Wilkes Central Eagles, a 36-0 victory over the West Wilkes Blackhawks here tonight as they roll. And guess what, Keith? The streak lives on as we push towards year number 16 now in a row for the Wilkes Central Eagles over the West Wilkes Blackhawks. But I will say this, Wilkes Central had to earn it a little bit more. People's going to think 36-0. It didn't necessarily come easy. This game was 14-0 at halftime.
Well, you know, the best thing was that first quarter was 0-0.
Yeah.
I mean, and that was with two fumbles by West Wilkes, but to still keep it 0-0 at that point in the game, I thought we was really going to have us a really good game right here, something we hadn't seen in previous years. But, you know, once again, we talked about the speed of Wilkes Central, and Terry Hayes and Malachi Rucker just too much. They're too much.
Too much for West Wilkes to handle.
The fact that the pass rush was basically negligent. You know, anytime you can give McGill that kind of time back in there, just to sit there and wait till his receivers go open, I mean, he'd just pick you apart. And we saw that earlier in the year when they played East Wilkes.
Absolutely.
And basically, that was basically what we saw here tonight. But you got to wonder, if you're a West Wilkes fan, what would have happened after receiving that onside kick, getting the ball down,
oh, man,
and within the 5-yard line.
You were on the 1-yard line and fumbled the football.
I mean, what would have happened at that point in time? You know, all you can do is say, what if? And,
that's it.
You know, my thinking would be is if at one time they ever got ahead.
Could that have been enough to keep their spirits up?
You know, I'm not saying that they had enough weapons to control Wilkes Central, but that would have made a big difference in the confidence level.
Yeah, it's one of those deals, man. And if you're Wilkes Central, you get your first win in the conference. You get back to 3-3. West Wilkes falls to 1-5 after this 36-0 win tonight for Wilkes Central. And our Sonic Drive-In Player of the Game, we're going to award it to Mr. Terry Hayes on a job well done tonight. He was a big play threat for the Eagles all night and lived up to that big player status. Well, Keith, we only got a couple of games left, and we're going to be back at it Monday night. We've got the return of J.K. Atkins to Rhonda as the Mount Airy Granite Bears, one of the top-ranked programs in 1A football, make the trip into Rhonda to take on the East Wilkes Cardinals. There's some added layers to this matchup coming up on Monday night. Some long-standing connections are going to come out, and Mount Airy's looking to keep that undefeated season rolling. Well, not only that, you know, we talked at the start of the year about the return of J.K. Atkins. It was delayed a few weeks due to COVID, but now it's back on the schedule. But also, you know, there's another one
and that's the return of Funderburk and
Compton
back to Wilkes Central.
Absolutely.
They had a great program when they were there, and Shane Compton is one of the finest offensive coordinators that we've seen in this area in a long time.
Absolutely. So we look forward down the stretch. Monday night, Mount Airy, East Wilkes. We're going to have it for you from Rhonda right here on 3WC. Once again, a special thank you to Athletic Director Todd Rutz for hosting us here tonight as we sign off from Millers Creek, and we say congratulations to the Wilkes Central Eagles as they take care of business here tonight over the West Wilkes Blackhawks in a 36-0 shutout of West Wilkes. It's now 16 in a row, and Wilkes Central just keeps on keeping on in this varsity rivalry matchup with the West Wilkes Blackhawks. We hope you have a safe and happy weekend. As always, as a reminder, be sure to check it out. First of the week, our friends at RiverStreet Productions were here on site tonight. You can catch the full video style of this broadcast coming up first of the week on their social media platforms and their YouTube channel as well. We hope you have a safe and happy weekend, and always remember, give thanks to the good Lord above